Usual happens.
Social circle memes. Alrighty, welcome back to the dating coach panel. Today we have a special episode centered on social circle game. So I have with me some notable people who really involved themselves in social circle game. Sometimes it's hard to get these guys together, and we'll see who turns up. So we'll fucking see. Drop our super chat to ask a question, $5 USD or more, or just any comment. Increasing as we go on. Where are you guys joining us from?
I'm coming from Miami, Florida. That's the first thing, my man.
Hell yeah. I'm over in Scottsdale, Arizona, the Miami of the West.
Interesting. I hear so many things about that, but I'm like, it makes no sense. It's like a mini city within a city. Shouldn't it
It
just be
is.
fucking Phoenix or something? What the
It's
fuck?
yeah, I mean like Scottsdale is to Phoenix as Brickell is to Miami.
Yeah, I don't know.
Imperative.
Anyway, let's fucking go into these
You don't
questions.
have Arizona without a bit of Scottsdale, without the mucha mamis in Scottsdale, Arizona.
All right. For guys who know nothing about the topic, can you guys define social circle game compared to day game, night game, and message game? Can you just define what social circle game really is?
It's what cool kids do. Or
I mean,
you
in
want to
my
lead us
mind, it's
up?
not that there even needs to be a difference. Like they all kind of play together. Social circle is just a little bit longer term. Basically, you're just leveraging all of the connections that are not immediately a hot girl that we're trying to hook up with right now. It's friends of friends, it's social events, it's networking, it's network marketing for pussy, dude.
That's good. Yeah, my interpretation of that as well, jumping off that is it's the only game in town right now. There's no other game. Cold approach is for beginners, social circles for guys that actually want to get results, want to level up, or have a business, have something that they want to strive towards. There are guys that are I see the way that is. I don't want to spend 6 hours a day running around, a mall. And they're like, you know what? I have a business. I want to connect with really, really cool people. I want to have amazing events. I want to be introduced to the right types of people, have deals and opportunities come my way. And then they figure out, oh, there's ways that I can compound my time, I can compound my energy. And if you do it in the right sort of steps, you'll be able to get a lot further ahead than a guy that spends 5 hours a day with meta glasses on. Do you like that,
Alrighty.
Jordan? Do you like that? You like that little meta? Got to throw some jabs
Yeah.
out there. That's what Ice told me to.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I gotta get the views up. I don't know. I come from the Luke Krogh school of thought. Like, I don't even think that there has to be like this big battle between social circle and cold approach. Like, I have fun cold approaching. Like, if I see a hot
Mm,
girl, I still want to go say hi. It's just
of course, yeah.
we want it to be geometric rather than one to one. It's the difference between like cold approach is door to door sales. That works. There's entire businesses that are built off of that, but the best businesses in the world still run sales funnels. So it'd be like, again, like you as a guy. You as a sole operator, if you see the lead, go fucking close the lead, but like also be thinking, hey, how can I spend less of my time? How can I get more leverage?
Mm. I think it is a bit more of a sophisticated kind of style as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Not like you have to do an A1, A2, any of that old stuff. It's just kind of like, oh, you have to be somewhat cool. You have to be somewhat in touch with what's going on. So yeah, I like that as well. I like what you're saying, where it's not a battle. I think a big thing that I like about it, like the biggest thing about it, is that it's you can do it any city, any place, anywhere, get to know the right people. You can do it in countries where you don't even speak the language. I just did it in Colombia. That was a bit of fun. Learn a bit here and there. Can do it in countries like Australia, America. It's international. It's not this thing where you have to like, oh, like people in these countries where they couldn't even do a lot of the cold approach. They were real stuck. They went to the dating apps and went everything, and they don't realize that there's multiple funnels, multiple ideas, as you said with business, door to door versus, you got Facebook ads, you got this, you got that, you got cold calling, you got outreach, you got referrals.
Yep.
It's the same thing. It's almost like taking a business into your social and dating life.
Very
Same
much so.
understand
Very
it.
much so. Well, like
That's
you
a
look at
good
the guys
analogy.
naturally. Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, hey, what's up, Justin?
Hey, what's up, boys? I'm just on a boat right now.
Where the fuck are you?
I'm in the middle of Lake Ontario. Well, we're about to set sail. We're at the gas dock. We have like, I don't know, 10 girls here. We're about to do like a little day party. I didn't want to miss it though, so here I am.
Oh yeah.
Get
He's
some
flexing on us.
We love it. We love it.
social circle game going on, and the rest of us are just at home. Here we go.
Yeah,
well,
dude.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I hate missing these calls, but like that's the problem when you have like all these like social obligations. That's like one downside to social for game. It's like you have like this event, that event. If you miss someone's birthday party, they're offended. And it's like it gets like political, you know what I mean? So like, you know, you have like a 5 p.m. boat thing, you can't miss it. And then especially like for me, it's like a lot of business. You know, a lot of it's like tied in because like my buddy who owns the boat, he's my accountant. He helps me with my taxes and stuff like that. It's a good friend of mine. My buddy drives the boats, my real estate agent. So like me showing up with the girls, like I'm just filling my role and doing my part. You know what I mean?
All social circle game for charity. Befriend. All righty. Currently we're discussing what was it? Justin, what's your definition on social circle game? What is social circle game?
Okay, yeah. Well, social circle game is creating long-lasting relationships and different circles that you can tap into. A lot of people see a social circle as like one circle, but I think it's a lot of overlapping circles. Almost think of like a Venn diagram. Think about like you have all these different circles, you have all these different things, and you can overlap a lot of them, right? And it's cool because like when your circle touches someone else's circle, you can now leverage their entire network, right? So I'll give you an example. There's this concept of 6 degrees of separation. Like you know everybody in the world through 6 people, right? And if I wanted to network with somebody, I just got to figure out who they know, right? And become friends with those people, right? So if I were to let's say I wanted to get access to a boat. Let's say I didn't have access to a boat. Well, who do I know who owns a boat? So I know some dude named Steve who owns a boat, right? Now, I don't know Steve. Me and him aren't friends, but I know one of his buddies who's friends with one of my friends. So now I'm gonna go make sure I end up in those rooms with those people, build a good relationship with them, offer them value, maybe throw some girls at their way, or you some cool people, or I invite them to some event, right? Offer a lot of value to them, and then you build a relationship with them. And now eventually, I'm in a room with Steve and invite him, and next thing you know, you're on a fucking yacht with a bunch of baddies. You know what I'm saying? You're with a bunch of baddies on a boat, right?
I hate it when it
Finally,
happens.
that opportunity presented itself. Oh, yeah, it's the worst, dude. It's the worst. Uh, when you're finally in that position, right? What happens is, you know, you have an opportunity to really prove yourself now to Steve.
Oh, he just disconnected.
Yo,
Fucking
Steve,
Lake Ontario. What the fuck is wrong with Ontario?
Steve
Fuck,
didn't like
I
him
can-
dropping knowledge. He was like, no, like get him off the boat.
He's gone missing.
There.
We'll be back. Anyway, well, I guess we'll just jump on to the next one. Oh, he's back. Oh, there you are.
You're on mute, brother.
Yeah, sorry guys. The reception's not the greatest. Yeah, so the reception's not the greatest. So I think I popped out for a second. But as I was mentioning, you know, the craziest part about Soul Sugar game is if you want to think about where tens hang out, like yes, you can cold approach them. Like absolutely you can meet tens from day game. But the hottest girls I know, they just hang out in elite level social circles. They only hang out in elite level social circles. You only see them at the highest end events, the most bougie shit. I got invited to an opening of a cocktail lounge recently, it was a couple months ago, and Drake was there. Okay, because I'm like a big influencer now. They put me in the table next to Drake, and I'm thinking, dude, what the fuck? And there was probably only 20 dudes invited to this whole event, and they invited like 150 girls, and all the girls were like tens. And I knew a lot of the girls. A lot of the girls were like bottle girls from the clubs I throw parties at, or they're like girls that I've known from like parties I've done, or like they're like exes of my friends that date tens. You know what I'm saying? Like I had a buddy of mine who was a wingman of mine for many years, and he would date like a lot of really hot girls. He'd date like a lot of bottle girls, like models and stuff like that. And a lot of those chicks, like 3 of his exes, were at this event that Drake was at, right? And it's interesting because like you'll find like these tens, they only congregate in certain places. And when you can get in those rooms, you can get into those events, those parties, those social experiences, you're gonna have access to a lot of beautiful women that you know the average guy just doesn't have access to. And that's like the best part of social game, in my opinion.
Yeah, honestly,
Already.
access is a big part of the equation now, just because, yeah, like you were saying, like the most attractive girls in the city, it's not like they're It's only they're going to the regular fucking bar all the time. They do it sometimes, but usually they also have their own social networks, and so they're busy doing social shit. And so like the easiest way to get into contact with them is to break into those networks.
I like that you mentioned before, Justin, 6 degrees of separation. That has been on my mind for years. It is so fucking true. I'm so fascinated when I watch a movie and I'm just like, shit, that actor was in the same movie as this actor in the same movie. I think I was watching 48 Hours with Eddie Murphy, and there's the actor from, I think there were two actors from the 1979 movie The Warriors. So I was like, shit, they got two actors from that movie all the way back then. And they had, I think, two actors from Breaking Bad or something. So I was like, shit, I'm just seeing those connections in Hollywood in movies. That's obvious, but once you really put yourself out there, it becomes very interesting knowing who is only 2 degrees of separation away from you. So, for example, something that happened last week, there was the assassination of Charlie Kirk, and Charlie Kirk wasn't far away from my network. He was 2 degrees of separation away. I know a few people who knew him. So it's pretty crazy that if things had been different, then somewhere down the line he could have come on this channel or been involved in some way, because he was on the Whatever podcast, which is about dating. And Michael Sartain has been on there. A lot of other guys who've been on this channel have been on there too. So it's pretty crazy to think how closely connected things are. So yeah, that's a sad moment last week, but just to emphasize the how powerful 6 degrees of separation really is, the accuracy of it. Any final comments on this?
Not
All
on me.
right. I have a fun thing to do. So here's a surprise for you guys. Justin, can you explain why you're in GTA 6? What the fuck is this?
Yeah, I don't know, dude. Little cameo, little GTA 6 cameos. Yeah, that just happens.
Is Justin Marc in GTA 6? What the fuck is going on? He's doing some social circle game in a fucking Toronto nightclub or Miami nightclub right here. What the fuck? How did that happen? What strings are you pulling? Crazy.
I have no idea.
He's like, bro, when you got the connections, man, you just got the plug. He's like,
I
no,
woke up. You know
get
what's
me in.
funny? Like I had a bunch of people send me that, and I was like, "What? What are you talking about?" But I don't think that guy even looks like me, bro. He looks Italian.
Nah, nah, that's
That's
definitely
funny.
you. Anyway, next question. What's your message for guys who aren't sure about whether or not they should get into social circle game?
Yeah, I have a good answer to that because this is a huge mistake a lot of guys make is like they just become these like cold approach robots, and that's cool. Cold approach is amazing. I believe cold approach is the absolute fundamental. I still do and practice cold approach every single day. Right, I just finished a 30-day challenge, guys. I just finished a 30-day cold approach challenge where I went out every single day for 30 days to practice cold approach. It was great. Smashed 16 women. I think it's like figured a bunch of girls, did a bunch of parties. And people are confused how I meet all these girls. I'm like, that's a cold approach, right? I've been bringing out 200, 300 girls per weekend. Where do we meet them? We meet them cold approach. I hire up promoters, right? And I teach them cold approach. I have them scour the streets looking for hot girls. And like, cool, you can bring them on a date. You can bring them to fucking, Starbucks for coffee and bring them back to your crib. Or you can create this cool ecosystem of beautiful women that social proof you to each other. So imagine this, you hook up with a girl. That's awesome. Well, instead of stopping talking to her and moving on to the next chick, right? Or just making her your girlfriend, why don't you create a cool social circle? Right. Like I actually had a girlfriend for over a year that we're living together. She's here on the boat right now. Right now we're kind of like on a break. But the interesting thing is like she still comes to all my parties. She's technically an ex-girlfriend of mine. She still comes to all my parties. She still brings me girls, introduces me to girls. She's bisexual. We have threesome together. She like goes out when we're out together. She gets all these chicks' Instagrams and she invites them to the next party we're doing. Right. So it's like you're capturing the girls that you met from cold approach. Right. So I see like I almost see like cold approach as uh like hunting. And then I see soul search game almost as like it's almost like farming, but I would almost even compare it to like it's almost like fishing. Like imagine like fishing with a fishing rod versus like fishing with like industrial fishing equipment. That's how I see social circle game. It's just like more efficient, more effective. You're gonna have like a higher retention rate. You can keep the girls around long term. They're your friends, and then like it's not like you can smash every single chick, dude. Like I only have one dick. You know what I mean? I wish I had more dicks so I could fuck more girls, right? But I have a lot of cool guy friends I know, and you know, if I had a buddy who wants to meet a girl and he's single, well, great. I just so happen to have thousands of girls I know. And when we do a big party, I'm only gonna invite the cool guys I know that are cool, girls feel comfortable around them, they're good with girls, and they just happen to be single. And I'll pair them up with one of the girls or whatever, like introduce them to girls that I think will be a good fit for them, right? And the beauty of that is like you just create these awesome, long-lasting relationships, and it's just fun, dude. It's just fun. Like you could just be this cold approach guy, like you just be this cold approach robot. But I just think it's better. It's just better long term. It's more sustainable to create these long term, lasting relationships. And you know, that's another thing. Like I knew this one guy from Toronto who had 1,000 body count, but it's not like all the girls are like one and done. He just never sees them again, never talks to them again. He like sees them around, he ignores them. It's like, wouldn't it just be better to keep the girls around, keep them in your life? You know what I mean? And I benefit from it specifically because I do parties that I get paid for. Right? I do these cool VIP events. I'm planning my birthday party right now. I just texted my promoter team. I'm like, guys, we need 200 girls minimum. Right? That's easy for us. Bring 200 girls to my birthday party. If I bring out 200 girls a weekend, bring them 200 girls to one event. That's easy, right? So the clubs will actually pay me for every girl I bring, right? And let's say we bring 200 girls, like I'm making thousands of dollars to throw a party, right? So that's another awesome benefit to keeping all these girls in your life is I monetize it, dude. I get social media content from it that reaches millions of people, especially the really hot girls. That relationship is valuable. That relationship is very valuable. And you know, I had a buddy who was a club promoter who actually mentioned every relationship you have with a girl is worth at least $1,000 per year. And let me explain the math, okay? Let's say like in Vegas or Miami or wherever, like let's say you can make $10 per girl coming in using your name on guest list. So I'm a club promoter, right? And I've got all these like club promoter connections. If I were to show up to the club with 10 chicks and I get $10 for every girl that walks in, it's $100, right? But now if those girls are coming out to me every single night I go out, let's say Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, that's a lot of money, bro. So that one relationship is making me $40 a weekend. If that girl comes out with me fucking 20 times a year, that's like $200 in my pocket. Now scale that times however many women you know, you can make an extra 6 figures a year. I easily make I make probably 10, 15, $20,000 per month doing parties and events. We do like dinner parties. We'll do like different club parties. We'll do boat parties. I just do parties, bro. I make a lot of fucking money, and that's just like extra money in my pocket, right? So these relationships are extremely valuable. But then, I mean, you also got to think about it as well. Like, let's say you're doing business with another guy. He looks at your Instagram, and you just look like some fat dude. You look like an average guy. You look at just a random picture of like you on your couch versus you have like photos of you smiling on a boat with a bunch of chicks. Is that guy more likely to want to be your friend or less likely to want to be your friend? Right. And so think about it when it even comes to networking with other men. I think it's so valuable and so important because high level, high value, successful men that are actually doing things that actually have things happen for them, they want to be around other winners. Men who are winning want to be around other winners. And so like you being the guy that has beautiful women around you or has a thriving soul circle or cool things to bring people to. I mean, it's extremely fucking valuable, bro. It's extremely
Well, I
valuable
think that
because
kind of takes us into
yeah,
the importance of just social circle game in general, right? It's that a lot of guys get into game, okay, cool, we want to get laid, but what happens beyond that? Once you gotten laid a couple of times, cool, what do we want the rest of our life to look like? And social circle is the tool to help you build an incredible lifestyle. And so for the guys who are wondering, like, hey, should I get started with it? Well, like, what the hell do you have to lose? You try it out and it doesn't work. Okay, whatever. Then like just drop off. But try it. Like, why wouldn't you?
Facts.
I think Ice, you'd asked, what's kind of the easy things guys can do to kickstart a social circle and length the time to results. I actually think the first thing that guys should do is to have clarity of vision, is look, hey, what kind of people do I actually want in my life? Because if you try, for example, hey, Justin is fucking killing the club promotion game. If you're a business owner and you don't want to be a club promoter, then you should connect with different people. For me, I really like hanging out with models. I like doing photography kind of stuff. So I do a lot of photo shoots. But like, if you don't want to do a photo shoot, don't be the photo shoot guy. Don't go pick up a camera. It starts with defining who do I actually want to have in my life and what do I actually enjoy doing with my time. And then we can back into, okay, here's the right kind of social groups, the right kind of events, the right kind of path to follow to actually get in touch with those people.
Justin, you want to answer while you got no music?
Yeah, I mean, I think I covered a lot. I went on a little bit of a rant there, but I really like what you guys said there because yeah, you don't have to be the club promoter. You don't have to be the party guy. A soul circle can be anything. It can be anything. Like you could. I have a buddy that was a photographer, and he didn't really care about parties. He would just do like model events. He would just do like different not with that many girls, bro. He'd just bring like 5 girls and do like photo shoots with them and just hang out with these chicks. But the cool thing is he would actually hook up a lot of those girls. And the best part about him being a photographer was he wouldn't even try to hit on the girls. A lot of the girls just want to hit on him because I mean he was good looking, he was in good shape, and he knew game. He practiced pickup and cold approach and all this stuff for many years. And so a lot of these chicks knew him. And what he did is he started networking with a lot of these modeling agencies. And because he was so professional and so good at what he did, so, I don't know if you guys can hear the music. I have noise cancellation on. It's blasting right now. 60,000 speaker system.
We can't hear anything. It's very impressive.
Good. Oh, fuck yeah, dude. These AirPods are great. Yeah, so my buddy, he would actually partner with modeling agencies, like huge agencies, massive agencies, and they would just send him models, like actual signed supermodels. And then now he's just a massive network. So like I mentioned, leveraging those networks, because think about this, right? You just need to network with one right person, your entire life changes. Your entire life changes. Like I think about my tax situation. I linked with my accountant buddy, my entire life changed. Not only did I save a ton of money in taxes, but now I'm on his boat every week, like 3 times a week. You know what I'm saying? So now imagine you're a photographer and you network with some dude who runs a modeling agency and he wants a bunch of photos done. And he doesn't care if you bang his models. He just wants their photos done. Let's say you do like a value arbitrage. You do it for free. That's a very important word, value arbitrage. You're offering value, not trying to get anything, right? Maybe you start doing it for free, do such a good job. Now they start paying you to do photo shoots. Now you start throwing models your way. Now you have this massive network of beautiful women, and maybe you're getting paid for it too, right? So maybe you're not the photographer. Maybe you want to do some, maybe you want to do like dinner parties or something like that. Like I have a buddy named Casey Redbeard. He does dinner parties in Colombia. It's just like him and my buddy Patrick Red. Patrick Red's a really well-known Soul Circle guy. They just do dinner parties, bro. You guys don't even drink. So they don't like they'll party. They'll bring liquor for the girls, but they'll be in like Colombia doing dinner parties. They just like invite a bunch of hot Latino chicks over and just get food for the girls. You know what I mean? They do dinner parties, and that's their Soul Circle thing. They meet a ton of beautiful women from that. So there's so many different ways to leverage doing Soul Circle activities, right? You can do like boat days. You can go to the beach. You can do a beach day. Right? Anything is a soul circle. Anything you set your mind to, you got to think about what kind of lifestyle you want to have.
100%. I don't know if you ever saw this as well. I did 2 videos called the Social Circle Challenge where I built one from scratch in different cities. So pretty much like I did it in Los Angeles, I did it in Bali recently. And that's really, really good for them to watch because I start with and I have 0 connections. No one. Like, so the first one in LA, I started with like texting a bunch of people that might have been in the city. In Bali, I was like, I wanted to see where people were hanging out, and it was like the fitness clubs. And so I'd go there, and if you have that cold approach experience, just starting to talk to people. So first of all, it'd be the people at the front desk, then it'd be the people that I see often. I introduce myself. I might ask them where they hang out. And so I kind of take it step by step. So I don't know anything. I gather information about how this city works, how it runs, who can I connect with. And now you're starting to go to the right places at the right times. See, before you don't know any information. You don't know where to stay. You don't know what restaurants to go to. You don't know where cafes to go to, what gyms. So when you know the information, it makes it easier to make a decision of like, oh, so instead of going to this restaurant, I go here at this time. Or instead of going to this gym, that's a terrible gym, I go to this gym because it's got more girls and there's more activities and there's easier ability to be able to talk. I remember one time in Bali, I was going to this restaurant. It was super hard, super difficult to talk to people. Everyone had their headphones in. And this guy was like, yo, don't go there, go here. It's called Open House. Shout out. I ended up meeting the owner. Super cool dude. And I was like, oh, what's so good about it? He's like, oh, the owner puts the tables really close together. And I was like, really? I was like, yeah. He's like, yeah, bro, you can talk to anyone. I'll go there and the tables are like fucking an inch apart. So you just start conversations with the next person. So it's all about the information. I say at the start, it's all about, you know, nothing, drop the ego and start to get to know and ask people where the good information is. You'll be able to kickstart it very quickly, because I can guarantee you're going to the wrong spots if you don't have the circle already generating itself. That'd be my 2 cents on how to start it from bare number one.
Yeah. Actually, a really easy exercise that anybody watching this call can do, like tangible thing you can do right now, is build a list. So 10 girls that you would like to date or network or hang out with in your city, 10 dudes, same thing, the guys that you would actually like to have in your social life, and then go through Instagram and like actually get their Instagrams, but then go look at what locations they have tagged. Where do they actually spend their time? Where do they hang out in the city? And then start going to those places. You might run into those people, but at the very least, you're going to run into people who are similar. And like Justin was saying, 6 degrees of separation. Well, you might have just cut one or two of those degrees of separation out. You might have just gotten tangibly closer if you can make friends with, like Sam was saying, hey, maybe you start talking to the GM or you start talking to the bartender. You ingratiate yourself in that environment because you have the cold approach skill set. Easy. Like that's the first thing. It's just 10 girls, 10 guys, 10 locations. Start going.
Interesting. Any other comments on this?
Yeah,
Already.
to add on to what was just said, I find like a lot of soul circle game, it like compounds on itself, right? So I'll give you a really good example. Every time I do a 30-day challenge, I just get laid a ton. But before this 30-day challenge, I mean, my life was pretty shit a couple months ago. Not shit, definitely better than most guys watching this. Like if you're learning game and stuff, like I'm sure you get results, but maybe not that much. My life is slow, dude. It was like me living with my girlfriend, do parties on the weekend. I was maybe like fucking like a couple girls per month, right? Maybe like 2, 3 girls. Like maybe like I was averaging like 1 girl a week. And I had the girlfriend move out and did a 30-day challenge, and it was kind of slow at first, right? Like maybe day 1 you're not really getting results. Day 2 you get better results. But then like on day 3 you bump into girls that you met on day 1. Then on like day 8 you bump into the girls that you met on day 4, and they remember you. They're like, "Oh my God, Justin, so good to see you." So it compounds. There's this compounding effect to doing all these soul circle things. Because at the next event or next time you go out, like let's say you just pop in a random club, you see some chicks that you met 3 weeks ago, right? And now you're not like a stranger. It's not a cold approach, right? Because you already approached them 3 weeks ago, right? Or like your wingman approached them, brought them to your buddy's table. They hung out with you guys for 15 minutes, had some tequila shots, and now you're bumping them 3 weeks later, and they feel like they know you. You guys already follow each other on Instagram. She's watching all your Instagram stories. She's watching your Instagram reels, and now she feels comfortable with you. And then you're like, oh yeah, we're doing an after party, and now they're all coming back to your house, and then you hook up with one of her friends, right? So there's this really powerful compounding effect when it comes to social circle when you go out every single day and you do social media. Those two things. And the social media part, I don't know if anyone talked about that at all yet, because I came on here a little bit late, but that is probably one of the biggest things when it comes to doing social circle. I find that your social circle is, a lot of it is virtual. A lot of it is Instagram. Like, think about this. You cold approach a chick, you get her Instagram, and I already have mutual friends with her, right? Think about how powerful that is. When I meet a new girl for the first time and I follow her and she follows me back, and it says that 10 of her hot girlfriends follow me. What does that say? Now, all of a sudden, she doesn't feel like you're some random stranger or some random dude, right? She feels more comfortable with you because now her friends follow you, right? So the social media aspect, like the mutual followers, mutual friends thing, the Instagram thing is huge, 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 huge. And especially when it comes to actually creating a social and keeping girls around, having the girls follow you on Instagram. And I mean, dude, this could be a whole separate fucking podcast we could talk for 3 hours about. I'm sure every single one of us can teach a ton about Instagram. So I don't know if we should go too much into it, but it is really important for a social circle game because when the girls are following you, now they can see your stories. They can see what you're up to every single day. If you post a lot, like I post a lot of reels, and a lot of stuff I post is like crazy entertaining. And so like the girls, like it's almost like a way to demonstrate your personality. And it's like almost like they get to know you virtually, so that next time they see you out, they already feel like they know you.
Yeah, I mean, just a real
Yeah,
quick thing on that.
100%.
Like a phone number has an expiration date on it. Every additional text that you sound and every day that passes, you become less top of mind versus an Instagram actually gets more powerful over time. So yeah, seeing stories, posts, captions, whatever, just seeing your face, seeing your content over and over, you become more relevant and more attractive over time.
Hey,
I
cool.
want to add something to that myself. You mentioned the phone numbers. My way of thinking about this, very similar, is when you ask for a woman's phone number, it goes into your contact list, and only you see the contact list. It's useless outside of that. It's only available for you to see. But when you add people on Facebook, on Instagram, for the most part, it stays there. It stays there on your contact list unless you delete it, but you can stay connected as friends and followers for quite a few years. Some people unfollow, some people unfriend, but for the most part, the numbers go up. Like I reached 10,000 followers on Instagram a few months back. I just got 1,218 new followers in the last 28 days. And I'm like, all I'm doing is just uploading Instagram reels. I'm not doing anything particularly special. It's just like I just used the footage from the YouTube channel. So that's a bit of a cheat there, a little bit of a YouTube
I
bias,
think
but
they call that a parasocial relationship when girls are watching your stories. They're putting you in the same category as the Zac Efrons, as the Vinny Hackers, as the people that they've looked up to. Because when you're seeing someone on a screen, there's that celebrity effect. There's that, so like, they're famous. If they're constantly seeing your content, there's that famous. I'll give an example. Go back on Instagram real quick. You don't even know this story, which is kind of cool. So when I first came to Colombia, second day, I'm like, I see Justin is in Colombia as well. So we message, right? And he's like, yo, come to a party. I was like, yo, okay. So it's my second day. I didn't know anything. And he's like, yo, come. Ended up going there. He was having a rager of event. Ended up meeting a couple of girls, ended up dating one of the girls from the thing, just for a little bit. And that kickstarted my
Oh,
social.
yeah, dude. I had no idea.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, as good as like meeting the social circle in person, like I'd never met Justin. We'd known each other. We met each other on Ice Your podcast, connected, back and forth. But that connection that we had, that virtual kind of Instagram react to each other's stories, ended up in success results as well as, whenever we're in the city, we're going to hit each other up. So that's why the Instagram, as you said, Justin, like that virtual connection it ends up being a lot of your social circle, because they
Yeah,
see
that's
it.
really cool, dude.
Yeah, yeah. So that's a bit of a story to show you a great example as something to start. And I didn't have anyone. That was day one. I didn't know anyone except you there.
no, that's funny. Justin came to Peru for a few
Yeah.
days, and I saw he was in Peru. He found out I was in Peru, and then we just like did something. So same
Yeah,
fucking
dude.
story. That's funny.
Thanks, good, dude. Yo, I know. I just want to show you guys what social good we have to get you access to. This is pretty fucking sick. We just tied up in the so like, when I dropped on the lives, we were leaving the marina. Now I'm on a yacht tie up. So we've like probably 10 boats all tied up side by side. I have like 10 girls on my boat. All these other boats have girls on them. So it's pretty fucking sick, bro. Like, so we just like party on the water, dude. It's pretty fucking awesome, dude. I'm like, all this came from a connection of mine. I met my buddy Nick at an artist inner circle meetup like a decade ago, right? I think that's how we met. We don't remember. Nick, we met at an RSD meetup, right? Can't hear me. Too loud. But through him, he became my real estate agent. He helped me find my penthouse in Toronto. And then I hit him up. I was going, I need an accountant. And he introduced me to my buddy who's like world-class millionaire accountant. So my buddy Nick, I met you at the RSD meetup, right? 10 years ago. So like, imagine that. I met him back today. And then through him, I met my buddy who's an accountant, who are my best friends now. And now we just all do parties together. And it's like you never know like where relationships are going to lead you, where people are going to be now. The big thing is like you just got to sit everyone well and fucking build awesome positive relationships. You know what I'm saying? And it's cool, dude. Like you don't want to fucking boat tie up, just like with a bunch of hot girls. And then I mean I already popped the fucking Viagra. Like I already hooked up with like half the girls. So like whatever happens. If the girls flowing and the girls finishing their pizza, I'll show you guys a little bit about it. It's like real time. It's like real time in field. All right.
We ain't got generational.
We got the we got the girls, you know what I mean? Dude. Like,
Guys, social circle doesn't work.
We're witnessing some live fucking social circle game infield footage right now.
Yeah, pretty much. But again, it's like people just see the end result. Social game is almost like building systems in a business. It's like the same thing. It's like the same thing as building business systems. It's like you set up automations and things that run on autopilot. Like I hire promoters to bring girls to my parties. And then I pay them the money that clubs pay me. So I get paid from the clubs, and I send that same offer to my promoters, my guy promoters, working with young, hungry QA guys, right? And then I'm getting fucking kicks from it. He's getting money. The clubs are happy. I get social media content, and we all get laid. It's fucking awesome. You know what I mean? But again, like it's something you build, and it compounds. It's like every time you do one of these events or one of these parties, it gets easier and easier and easier to get more experience. You know what I mean?
Perfect. Any other comments on this?
No, he's the last bit where it compounds, it gets easier. That's really pivotal because guys, I think one of the biggest apprehensions at the start is like, oh, it's going to cut too much time. Oh, it's too much effort. And they don't realize like with anything they've done in their life, it gets easier. You know, the systems get better. And I think they miss that part. It's just kind of like they're very willing to do 5 hours at the mall. They don't see that as a time waste. But when it's like, oh, a couple hours planning a party, inviting people, they're like, oh my God, no, that's too much. And they just like their priorities are a little bit different. But they just got to realize it's like anything of value is going to take some time. But once it does, it's like a system. It's a cog. It's a what I like to call a flywheel, where you just do one thing, it leads into the other, leads into the other, leads into the other, and it just keeps going like a gear in a cog in a wheel.
It's pretty crazy. Like I'm at a point now where like I just get my girls to invite other girls. Like I don't want to do the invites, whatever. But so I'll just like if I'm doing a boat like today's boat party, I just text Paul and Sierra, and I'm like, here's a list of girls, invite them. I'm going to bed, and then I just wake up and girls are on a boat. You know what I mean? Or like on a Friday, Saturday, I'll just like spend 30 minutes max messaging tip. I'll just like spend like fucking dude first weekend like on a Friday night. We'll send 500 to 1,000 messages chicks to come. I have about 8% conversion rate. So if I DM 100 girls, 8 girls will show up. So like, I'll me and my team will spend like 30 minutes an hour just mass messaging quick, right? And we'll send like 1,000 messages. We'll have like 80 will show up, you know? But like that 30 minutes means I'm spending 4 or 5, 6 hours of my night to around with beautiful women, like 10, the most beautiful women that like to party and have a good time, you know? And it just, so like, it's systems. It's like setting up like Sam said, like the quad, right? You have all these different running systems. You got to make sure you go across and you have the Instagram, you're posting a story, say everything's school party. You see who watched that story, you're dating all those girls, right? Any girls that left the story, you make sure you invite them. Any girls that come out to the last event, you invite them to the next one because obviously they're a hot lead, they want to come out, right? So it's very similar to sales and business, you know what I'm saying? You know, you gotta, it's like a flywheel effect that compounds on itself, you know? It's really important though that you have those systems in place.
100%. I'll throw in the next question. And on the document I have, I got to word it completely differently, but since Michael can't make it, I'm gonna rephrase it. So there's a perception that social circle game is very particular. It's guys wearing chains, just like Justin and Jordan are wearing right now, wearing black. They're party promoters, the big titties, bikini model contests and shit like that. Is that true? Are there other versions of social circle game, like for guys who don't want to do the nightclub thing or the promoter thing or boat parties and shit like that? What could they do for social circle game? Let's say they could be a dentist, for
social
example.
circle game ice, it only works if you wear black and buy a chain. So that is actually the first thing that all these guys have to do right now is go buy a chain. But outside of that, yeah, of course, dude. Like I have clients who build social circles around yoga. They build social circles around like biohacker brunches. There's guys who want to get into modeling, bikini competitions, of course. But like whatever you like doing, other people also have the same hobbies. And some of those people are attractive women. So your job is to go meet the attractive women who enjoy the same things as you and just build a social life around that. Just start inviting girls to the shit that you already do for fun, and your life will get better.
I have a really good example of that. So my buddy Jason is one of my wings from back in the day. I met him in college. He was my wingman when we were like 19, 18, 19, 20, 21. He got in a relationship. He just turned 30. He was engaged. So he was with his girlfriend for 8 years. He cold approached her at a nightclub. He spilled a drink on her. And then she's like, "You're an asshole. You spilled a drink on me." And he's like, "Oh, it was your fault." And then she liked him. They ended up hooking up and they ended up dating for 8 years. They were going to get married next year. And they just called it off. Right. So now Jason is like back at square one, ground zero. But he's living with me now. He's taking my guest room. And I've been like teaching him all the shit. And he's doing really well. He drives motorcycles. So the other day we were at a music festival. And Jason pulled approached this really hot set. And they're kind of shit testing us and stuff, right? So after we talked about 20 minutes, and they really liked us in the end. And then when she pulled her phone out to get her Instagrams, Jason saw her phone on the back of her phone. She had this like lock for like motorcycles for the phone cases. And he's like, "Oh shit, you ride?" It's like, "Wait, how do you know?" Right? And then they started talking about motorcycles for like 10 minutes. And anyway, they hung out last night as friends. Like it wasn't like a date. Keep in mind, this girl is like a 10 out of 10. Like she is a fucking baddie, like smoke show, right? But because they had a common hobby, right, with motorcycles, they went on a little. It seemed like a date, but it wasn't a date. He said it wasn't a date, but they just went. They went riding yesterday, and he brought her to like a motorcycle meetup, and he actually showed up with her and another girl. So he showed up with 2 super hot chicks at a motorcycle meetup. So now he's got like an increased status there. He shows up with these 2 hot chicks. They take their helmet off. All the other girls are looking at them, trying to talk to these girls. And now he just like his social value in this motorcycle community is massively increased because he showed up with 2 hot girls. So like these game principles of soul food game apply to anything you do. It doesn't matter what it is. Whatever hobby you have, you know?
I can tell you guys, I haven't stepped foot in a nightclub in like 4 months.
Yeah, Sam, funny that you mentioned that. Like even when I was in Colombia last time with you, when we first met, I didn't go clubbing. I went to the pub one time and I was like, "This sucks." Right?
Yeah.
I like clubbing in Toronto just because like I get to see a lot of people I know, people I'm friends with, people I grew up with, and like I get paid for it, to be honest. I make a lot of money from doing it. But I don't drink alcohol. I've been sober since 2018. So like I don't drink, I don't do drugs. I'm very sober. Right. The only thing I consume is caffeine. Right. But you know, like, so whenever I travel, I just rent like 6 penthouses or like nice, like place we can party in. I just invite girls straight to the crib. Like, I don't really party. If people see me as a party guy, I don't really party. And back to Ice's question about like the clothes you wear and what you wear and stuff. I just wear what I think looks cool on social media, what I think girls will like and find attractive, or what I think is cool for myself. Right. So you can dress however the fuck you want. But at the end of the day, like fashion is important when it comes to your own style, your own identity, how you want the people in the world to perceive you, or how you want to be, or also attracting certain types of women, right? So I know what types of women I like, and I know how to dress to attract those types of women, right? But you can dress however the fuck you want, and you don't have to be a club promoter. You don't have to be parties. You don't have to drink alcohol or do drugs or any of that stuff. I don't touch it. Like, bro, I go to the gym every day. I like my 8, 9 hours, 10 hours of sleep. I don't drink or do any drugs at all whatsoever, right? And when I travel, I don't go clubbing. I don't go to nightclubs in other countries when I travel. I just like throwing parties because I like doing parties. And the easiest place to do that is at a nightclub. Because if I keep doing it at my house in Toronto, my house gets pretty fucked up. So like I keep it kind of exclusive. When I travel the world, when I go to Colombia, when I go to like Brazil, when I travel anywhere, I like getting a 6 penthouse and just inviting all the Tinder girls there or like any girls I know or meet. Usually I'll just like, when I travel South America, I'll just run ads on Instagram and meet chicks on Instagram. And girls I think are hot, invite them over, get to know them. It's kind of like going on a date. Instead of going on a date with one girl at a time, I'll invite 20, 30 chicks over. And it's like I'm kind of almost interviewing every girl on like, do I like you? Do you like me? Do we get along? And if not, go for my friend. And if not him, go for my other friend. If not, you can go home, right? But yeah, dude, it's you don't need to go to nightclubs. You can just have girls come straight to your house and do like little house parties. It's like a lot more fun, honestly. Or get a boat. A boat is unrealistic for a lot of guys. But I was just talking to my buddies. You can get a boat for like 20K, 30K, 40K for an entry level boat for like 100 grand. You get on a financing plan. It's actually not that bad. It's like you pay 2K a month, turn the whole. There's actually ways to arbitrage it to get it for free. Essentially, put down like a little down payment, 10K, or you split with some friends. Like I might get a boat for next summer, 10 grand per person. You get it on a financing plan over like a few years, and then you can charter out so you actually make money. It turns into like a business. You have access to a yacht. There's so many different ways they can mix in business and social game as well. And that way you don't have to go clubbing. You don't have to drink. You have to do cool things that are cool that girls want to be part of. That's the main thing because girls want to have fun and they want to be part of cool things that are high
Yeah,
status.
I mean, dude, like you don't even have to buy the boat, right? Like find a buddy who has one. There's plenty of rich dudes who buy boats because they want to impress girls, and you're like, cool, I'll bring girls. Or even easier, dude, like July 4th, me and a couple of my homies, we all pitched in like $500. We got a double decker pontoon, 30 chicks, bunch of booze. Everybody has a great time. Just do that occasionally. You don't even have to get the double decker pontoon. Start it small. Start with like, okay, it's $1,000 for a boat rental. You and two of your boys, okay, we're each gonna bring three girls, and then you just go rent a boat for a day. Like there's so many different angles to attach this. Or again, same shit. You find the one dude who has the boat for 10 people. It's just there's so many different ways to attack it, and just recognizing that a lot of people have problems that need solved. So how can we connect each other? They have complementary problems. They should know each other, and then we benefit from being in the middle.
Yeah, that's the best thing about like think about how many dudes in their 40s or 50s are well off financially, but they don't know any chicks and they work all the time, they have like the business. Like one of the guys that runs the biggest boat stuff here in Toronto, he's a lawyer. He's like 60, dude. Or like I don't know how old he is. He's like really old. And I mean, if I were to hit him up and say, hey, can I bring 20 hot girls on your boat before summer ends? You don't think he'd say yes? Why wouldn't you? Right? And you just spend some energy, some time, inviting the hottest girls you know. If you don't hate hot girls, start approaching them, dude. It's not that hard. You just got to go out and meet chicks, right? The reason it's hard is because a lot of guys have approach anxiety, or a lot of guys are scared to talk to girls, or scared to be that confident guy to orchestrate and facilitate the stuff. But like, if you're a guy learning a game, just stop being a pussy and start thinking creatively, start thinking outside the box, and just start bringing value to these girls, dude. Because think about this. You float approach girls, you're like, hey, do you like boat parties? Like, it's so easy. But when I come approach a girl now, dude, it's like fishing with dynamite. Hey, we have a yacht. You want to come on a yacht? You want to come to a penthouse? You want to come to the nightclub with unlimited bottle service and VIP entry and everything's covered? And then, you just don't be weird. Don't make them uncomfortable. Treat them with respect. Make sure they have a good time. And it's not rocket science, Your life just ends up being like floating with hot chicks, doing all these cool things. There's a lot less game needed now because you're just like cool dude sharing good experiences and taking care of the people around you, And the guy who owns a boat to be really happy because he gets laid. A lot of these guys, they're happy to get laid once a month, bro. So like you just bring a bunch of girls to his boat 3 times a week and he gets laid once a month. Like he wants you on his boat every single time he does a boat party, right? And same with these nightclub owners. Like again, you guys don't have to go clubbing. You don't have to do nightclub thing, but for the guys that want to become like, high up in that, whatever it is, find the people that are running the cool shit and bring them hot girls, or like find a way to offer them value somehow. Maybe it's money. Maybe you don't have girls, but you have money and you can tag along, right? But figure out a way to create value and add value to what they're doing. So you're not taking any value. So they want you around. Like you got to lower the downside of your presence, right? Because if you just show up as a single guy, I always tell this to my students when we're doing our social programs, like as a man, it's almost a disrespectful show without liquor for women. You know what I mean? If a dude shows up at my parties without 4 chicks, like, what are you doing? Like, I just immediately don't like them. It's the worst when guys come to my parties and start hitting on my girls and start drinking my booze. They're banned. They're never invited back. I just send them the value each, right? But the best guys are the guys that show up with hot girls, try to introduce their girls, and then bring me liquor. And I'm like, not on the drink. I just see that they're just trying to add value. So when you're in that mindset, just how can I add value, not take any value? I'm trying to give value to the people around me. I'm not trying to take anything. The funniest part is you end up being the guy that gains the most value. People see that and they just reciprocate that. And then all of a sudden girls like you, they're more attracted to you. Everyone wants you at their parties. Everyone wants you doing cool stuff with them. So you really just have to have a mindset of how can I add value to everyone and everything that people are doing when it comes to doing these fun social activities.
Yeah, very good.
100%.
Any other comments on this?
To add that, a lot of the guys that I work with, they don't, they're very much like they work, they don't do anything else. They're not there. And so I think a big thing for them is like, I talk to them, I'm like, look, you've got the money, you got the status, you got everything, but you're just trapped in your office all day. I'm like, you've hired a hot secretary, cool. Yeah, absolutely. That's a good step. But you're just in here, from 9 o'clock in the morning till 9 at night. And I tell them, I'm like, this idea of like intersections, right? So it's like, if they just got out a few times a day to run, maybe to get coffee, to get lunch somewhere. I'm thinking about the guy in New York that, is running through the streets. You can meet girls at all these different places. But a lot of the time, what they're doing is they're just locked away. They've got their gaming chair and they're fucking on crypto and they're never leaving their room. I'm like, of course, you're not going to have any luck. Right. So I think the guys are like, oh, well, they come to you and they're like, oh, well, I don't want to do the nightclub strategy because, like I'm working so much. And I'm like, brother, you're not doing any strategy now. So don't dish the one strategy that can work. Try another strategy, try another strategy, try another strategy. But sitting in your house all day, every day, I know you're rich, I know you got money, and you think it should be easy and come to you. But it's like you still got to go through the fundamental principles of like, I say one of the biggest principles for a lot of these guys, especially the high net worth, is like get the fuck out of the office and the house. It's like get the fuck out. Stop spending all your time in these two places. And I tell them, they're like, oh, well, but what if I work? What I'm like, take your laptop. You got a laptop, take it to a cafe, take it to Soho House, take it to one of these other places. Stop doing inside of your office or your house. And that's like one simple thing. And I think a lot of them, they're like, they dish the nightclub because they're working so much, but it's like, brother, you're not doing anything else, right? And I think they dish it because they're thinking nightclub. But a lot of these events in New York, like, next week I'm going to some like fucking Casino Royale event, and that's from like 7 till 10. It's like an underground casino thing. And so there's all these different events. There's art nights, there's charity events, there's all these other things. So I think they label the night as just nightclubs. And it's like, no, there's other strategies as well. There's a lot of opening nights. Justin said he went to a cocktail lounge place that opened. Like there's opening nights, there's all these different things. And I think if they don't like the nightclub, they can do that instead, or they can do, a lot of the things is a lot of the buff gym guys that you see, they do social circle at their gym as well. If you notice, like the big buff muscular gym guys, a lot of the time are dating the gym girls. It's because they're going to one place, they're spending a bunch of time there, a bunch of energy, and then they get to know the girl. So I think a social circle is happening a lot more than people realize, if that makes sense. But these guys just think, oh, I don't want to become a promoter or not. It's like there's 1,000 other ways you could do it. Like Jordan said, there's yoga, there's Pilates, there's freaking, hiking trails. I know, guys that have done, like I had a client that got a girl from a art class. I'm like,
yeah, dude, there's run clubs. Like there's
run clubs.
there's so much shit going on, bro. There's like sailboat, like it depends what city you live in, obviously. Like I'm here, like there's like I don't know if you guys can see this. There's literally like everything is a social circle. I don't know if you guys see these like random like windsurfing boats. Like one of my buddies, Sam, he lives in Gold Coast, Australia. Not you, Sam, a different Sam, just a buddy of mine. And he does all this like wilderness activity shit. Like he'll go like hiking in the fucking forest in Gold Coast. He'll go fucking sailboating and shit. He'll do all these different things. And here in Toronto, there's something called like Midnight Runners like Run Club. It's almost like a party while you're running. Like everyone like wears like neons and goes running and they go for drinks after. There's so many different things that you like that don't require partying and that tons of ways to meet chicks. You know what I mean? But
honestly, run
yeah,
clubs
like,
are slutty, dude. Like,
and a big thing a lot of guys don't realize, a big thing, like every single woman, she needs a mate. Like she needs a boyfriend or a husband or a guy to fuck, or like a protector and a provider. And she'll be emotionally, internally unfulfilled unless she's getting that. And a lot of these girls are joining these things because they want to meet someone. Like my sister is 34 and she's single. So she just enrolled in pickleball and she meets people from pickleball. You know what I mean? And like, it's like there's so many different ways to meet people and to like network, but you just got to be involved in activities and things that are cool. Now, obviously, there's higher leverage activities that will have more beautiful women. That like personally, I just like to get laid and I like beautiful women. So I'll do boating and nightclubs. Again, I don't drink and I don't do drugs, but I'll do boating and nightclubs because I like hot girls that party. I like getting laid with hot chicks that want to fuck. Right? And where do I find those chicks? I find them at nightclubs in Toronto. And on fucking yachts, right? And that's where I'll meet these chicks, right? But if you don't want to party, like that's fine. Just accept that it's gonna be a little bit harder for you to meet the girls I want to fuck, right? But maybe you'll meet girls that you get along with better at pickleball or at the run club or at this other thing or like hiking or whatever, and that's cool, right? But at the end of the day, dude, like you got to be the guy like involved in these things, and eventually you want to be the guy facilitating these things. Okay, you want to be because at the end of the day, these attraction triggers are fundamental. Women are going to be attracted to the guy creating and leading things, right? So if you're the guy who's like a leader, you demonstrate those characteristics, or you have pre-selection. So maybe you have the run club, you're running a run club, but you know, it's like a really good ratio of girls to guys, and all the girls know you. Now, other women are going to attract you. You create this like flywheel effect, but the systems and the processes are exactly the same. They're exactly fundamentally the same. Okay. But, you know, and the other thing, there's no shortcut. All these like rich older dudes that like wants to shortcut their way in, there is no shortcut. Like if there is a shortcut, it's you being a rich guy and you're buying bottles at some promoter's table or like at some sort of event. Like I'll give you an example, right? I get guys asking to come buy bottles at my tables all the time. I say no, right? Most club promoters say yes, totally. But I usually find guys who buy bottles is creepy, weird. They think they get entitled. They think if they can buy a bottle, they can harass the girls at my booth. So I tell them to fuck off, right? But I know a lot of guys like, you know, they'll pitch it on tables or they'll buy like I had a big New Year's party with 300 chicks, right? And I invited some guys I know are look a little bit like not the greatest with girls because I'm inviting 300 girls. You know, I want the club to make some money too. These guys spent like 5-6K, but like I'm like, okay, fair enough. Like, look, I got 300 girls coming. If you guys want to come join us, you got to book a table. And boom, they book the table. They spend a few grand, right? So there's that value arbitrage where they're adding value. So you guys can also do that. Like if you're a guy watching this, you're thinking, well, I don't want to put in the work. I don't want to do the grunt work. I don't want to do the cold approaches. I don't want to go meet up with these chicks and fucking invite all these girls. Well, then go spend thousands of dollars to access these elite level circles. But there has to be some sort of effort you put in to have access. And if you're not the guy facilitating or putting the work, then you got to spend a lot of money to do it. But personally, I don't like wasting money. I don't like spending money. And the guys that are out, honestly, just throwing the parties, bro, putting in actual work to create the party, they're the guys that get laid the most, dude. Like most guys that don't get most pussy are just broke club promoters, like young, hungry, horny, broke, like dudes like show parties, you know, because they're willing to put in the work. And they build the fundamentals that are the base of whatever's happening. They build the base of those soul circles. And, you know, those are the guys who get most pussy. That's just how it is. But there's no shortcut.
No, I think
The whole point I'm trying to
probably
say is, like, there's no
really
shortcut. You
important
got to put some work.
concept. Really important concept is that women, we kind of mistake hypergamy, right? Like everybody throws that term around. We think, oh, women are going to fuck the best guy for them. No, they're going to fuck the best guy that they know. So if they don't know you, if you're not in those environments, that's why club promoters get laid so much, is because they've built so much exposure. Well, yeah, of course, that's the first guy. He's comfortable. I know him. I don't have to like go out of my house and go find some other richer guy. It's like, no, okay, he's cool. He's got social proof. Sweet, we go for that dude.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that was
mentioned
an
the
insanely good point. Just like I don't know what you're saying. Insanely good point. Because like most of these chicks too, they don't really know a lot of cool high status guys. Like hypergamy is real, but a lot of these girls don't know those guys. So like if you're just that guy throwing these cool events and you're that guy, like you're just the guy that the girls know and want to puff. You know what I mean?
already. Yeah, I mentioned the clothing thing, the black shirt with the chain, because when I was in Vegas a while back, all the social circle guys were wearing the same fucking uniform, a chain, gold chain or a silver chain or some diamonds or some shit.
So I gotta run.
Black.
This party's gonna be shit unless I get off my phone. So and
Yeah,
it's
go
the
ahead,
music
go
died.
ahead.
So I gotta run, boys. Love getting to see you guys. See you guys soon,
All right,
okay?
good to see you, homie.
Hey, boss man.
Thanks for jumping on. Alrighty. Any other
Guys,
comments on this
is
one?
that the first time you've had someone come in and mid
Doing infield
Yeah.
during the fucking podcast. No, no, it's pretty interesting because day gamers, night gamers, what is more a day game thing now at the moment. Doing infield, of course, but it's hard. I don't think there's really a way easily at least to do social circle game infill because things gotta be, you can't just burn those
What do you mean?
opportunities
No,
and
no,
shit
no.
like
I
that. So
completely
I don't know.
disagree because social circle infield doesn't look creepy or strange or weird. Social circle infield just looks like you're hanging out with a bunch of girls and it's totally normal. Like what people do is, oh, hey, everybody come here, get a selfie. Like, dude, that's social circle infield. You can record the whole damn interaction if you want. Especially like if I'm doing a photo shoot, like I literally have people whose job it is. Literally, hey, get a camera and record the whole thing and people hype it up for the camera. So no, I disagree. It's actually, I think way easier to get in field of social circle shit because it's a normal environment to record versus if you're running around doing day game at a mall or a college campus or whatever else, Yeah, like it's kind of weird to be filming your social interactions in that environment without people knowing. But if people know that there's a camera out, they hype it up, they perform for the camera.
Yeah, I actually agree with you. I'm just saying, like, where infield is conventionally done, it's, without people's knowledge and
Mm.
blurring out faces and shit like that. So I completely agree. It's just that thing where I can't remember where I was going with this, but yeah, completely different agenda, I guess. Yeah, well, when you do post some social circle game footage or infield, let's say, guys will then be like, "How do we know you're fucking her?" Because you got to be discreet with social circle game. You can't just be like, "Yo, I'm pulling this chick right now on a fucking YouTube live or Instagram live or something." So, um, it's
100%.
it's social
Getting
circle
dome on the
game.
Facebook Live. One day
Social
Justin
circle.
will call in and he'll just
You seen that Julian video where he's like, "What's up, guys?" And he's literally having sex during the video. We're like, "What the fuck?" No, I can't be like that with social circle games. And guys are like, because there are 10 girls in the photo. How do we know you're sleeping with every woman in the photo of you? That kind of thing. It's kind of
I'm
funny to
not.
me.
I'm not. Well, so here's the funny thing, right? It's like, okay, so a lot of guys who are hardcore in that like blow me or blow me out mindset probably think that they have better game. So okay, perfect. And some of them actually probably do have better game than like the average guy. But hey, if you have better game, wouldn't you like to be in that situation? If you get laid more than I do, perfect. Let's put you in that situation. You'll crush, brother. You'll
Mm,
crush. What do you mean? Why wouldn't you want to be in that room?
exactly. Alrighty, next question. Can social circle game be done in a small town?
Yeah, of course, of course.
Yeah.
And if you got nothing going on, then you create the thing that is the poppin' thing. Like it's very simple. The first excuse is like, oh, nothing's going on in my city. And I'm like, cool, you're about to be the leader of the cool thing going on in your city. And they're like, oh, that makes sense. What do
Yeah.
I do? I don't know. Figure it out. It could be like a hoedown at the fucking local barn or some shit. Could be, horse riding in the outback. It could be fucking lighting a bonfire on the beach. A lot of the time it's just like if you got a small town, yeah, there are some girls your age, cool. Just don't try to creep on all of them. Create a friend circle, and naturally they're going to become attracted to you because you're one of the only cool guys in the city that's got shit going on. So it's actually better because you got less competition actually than a big city sometimes.
You're a
Yeah,
big
I
fish in a
would
small
totally
pond.
agree with that. I mean, people just naturally organize themselves into social groups. That's what people have done since the beginning of time is we've had tribes. So that's all you're doing. And those tribes already exist in your town. The funny
Mm.
thing about that is like I've done sales for Sartain and now for Bilzerian and like over the past couple of years, I have heard every single city that you can possibly imagine in the US, Mexico, Canada, and abroad who all say, "Oh, well, I can't get laid in my because of my town." It doesn't matter if it's LA, if it's Miami, if it's a small town. It's like every single guy thinks it's their town, and it's really hard to take the accountability and say, "You know what? Somebody in this town has a better social network than I do, so let me see how I can tap into that."
Or just move.
Yeah, that too. I mean, if it matters that much to you, like there's a reason I live in Scottsdale. Like I very much said, hey, clarity of vision. I know what kind of people I'm interested in being around, both from a dating standpoint and a friend standpoint. There's a reason I'm here. I work remote. I can be anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
Which state did you move from?
Well, I actually grew up in Tucson, so it was kind of weird. I traveled a bunch. I mean, I went to a lot of major cities, but just kept coming back here, man. Although I do love
Already.
Miami, dude. I think my long-term vision, Sam, would be like place in Brickell, place here, and just like bounce back and forth.
It's nice, eh? It's a good spot. One of the best in the world. At this
Yeah.
point, yeah, it always was. Ever since fucking GTA Vice City launched. It's always best.
My favorite fucking game. Well, I never been to Miami. I almost went, I think, last year or this year. But some people say, there's a lot of competition there, or a lot of flashiness, a lot of money being thrown around, lots of boat parties. How do you deal with that kind of competition if you're just a person who has no boat and no millions of dollars up your ass and shit like that? How do you deal with that kind of Miami lifestyle?
That's the million-dollar question, eh? Aha. I mean, it's like anything. I think I said like a year ago, I think I said this thing for Dubai. Same thing in Dubai. You got the Bugattis, you got the boats, you got the watches, you got the this,
Mm.
you got the that. And like the thing that a lot of them, they're like, how do I compete? I'm like, brother, you got a personality. You beat 99% of the guys that have just got money as their personality. Like you can be interesting and funny. Now, if you're like, okay, well, how do I get access to it? It's like, okay, cool. That's a lot of these guys take their problems as, oh my God, it's the end of the world. I can't even continue. I'm like, bro, that's the biggest thing. Like, you've got a purpose now. This is your purpose. I got to figure out how to solve this problem. What's the solution? You know, I've got all these guys with millions of dollars. They live on Star Island. They got $30 million mansions. Like, how do I compete? Cool. That is your purpose. So it's like, okay, well, what's the first thing that you've tried? Oh, I've tried nothing. Okay, well, that's probably a problem. You know, you got to try something. So I would say, okay, cool. So it's like, okay, I want to, if I'm going to compete, maybe if I get access to the people that have the boats, like Justin just said, or I go to the right place at the right time, meet the right type of people, or I organize something myself, or I go to the right bars at the right times, or I go and meet girls in the yoga studios, or I go meet my girls in different places. Like not every weekend the hot girls are going to be on the yachts or on the in 11 or in live. Like they actually do other shit as well. So it's not as if like 1.8 million hot girls in Miami are only on boats on Saturday. You know, there's millions of them, right? So you just gotta go to the right places at the right times. And then the biggest thing, if you think that that's the only thing that's going to attract a girl, I would laugh at your face if you knew how many guys got a boat, got a watch, got money, and didn't get laid from those things. You would be fucking on the floor laughing in tears because it's a lot more than you think it is. They get all the thing that, like, I got the finances, I got the watch, I got the thing, and then they're left holding their dick in their hand at the end of the night. It's like, if you knew, so then you realize, like, oh, okay, it's a lot less about these flashy things, a lot more of like, okay, well, who do I know in the city? That could be another question to ask. If you know no one, that's going to be a little bit tricky. So that's your thing. I got to know a lot of people. So I would take it back to a bit more of a bit more of a different understanding than like how do I compete with the guys in the boats and this and that. It's like, okay, well, do you have a personality? How many people do you know in the city? Do you leave your house? Where are the places you go to? Who are the people that you know? You know, what's your social proof in the city? Do you know the right types of people? Do you know promoters? Do you know people that can invite you on the boats? Do you know these things? And a lot of the times when you ask the questions about yourself versus the other people, like what they have, you'll realize that you've got your own shortcomings and you just got to work on them. So that's where it's a bit more of like a physical, spiritual, just a leveling up of yourself. And then once you level up, you'll realize that none of those external things really matter or attract the girl. They get access for sure, but they're not the thing that's like solidifying the deal, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I think fundamentally it's just a misunderstanding of attraction. So attraction doesn't come from the conscious mind. As men, when we look at a beautiful woman and we see pretty face, nice body, like we feel attracted. Women are more or less the same way, it's just they're a lot less physical. So her biology, her monkey brain, like the subconscious mind, doesn't know what the fuck money is. It's been around for a lot longer than currency has. What it's attracted to, what women are finding attractive about that environment is access to cool things, the environment itself, it's the ability to solve problems. There is a degree of status that you get in our culture from having money, but it's not the actual money itself. And so you can, through other attraction triggers, overcome just the little bit of access. If you get access to the same thing, well, guess what? You're kind of in the same category as the guy with money. If you can still solve a bunch of problems without directly solving monetary problems, you're still attractive. So it's a little bit deeper than just having cash. I know plenty of dudes who, yeah, to Sam's point, have a lot of cash. I mean, that's kind of what our whole industry is built off of. It's a lot of guys with a lot of cash who still don't get the results that they want with women. It's health, wealth, and relationships. It's not wealth, wealth, and wealth.
Yeah. Alrighty. How can you protect your social circle from leeches, creeps, and weirdos? And how do you handle gossip, jealousy, or social sabotage?
Yeah, it's a good question. The gossip, the thing, Jordan, you lead it off. Oh.
Yeah. So, I mean, first off, weirdos usually don't get accepted into the social circles, to be honest. Like I don't run into that often. It's more so usually a weird guy is trying to get access and you just say no. Usually people don't get into these kind of environments, into these circles without offering value, without trying to make people's days better. So I don't run into that much. Gossip wise, just don't engage in it. Just don't be part of the gossip. Don't be part of the drama. You won't be, to be honest.
Yeah, I'll be a little bit different with this. I think there's no way you can get rid of the leeches. You're valuable. There are guys that want to soak up value. I just threw a party last week, like literally, like what day is it? Wednesday. I threw it on Saturday, and there would have been about like 30 guys just trying to weasel their way in. Threw a party the week before. Man, they were trying to add themselves in the Partiful link under a girl's name, a girl's profile, and then fucking switch it, and we caught them. But I don't think there's any way. If you got something of value,
Yeah.
everyone wants in.
So it's not
Everyone.
that they don't exist. It's just that like yeah, you just don't let them in. That's all.
Well, yeah, yeah,
If
of
you
course
notice somebody's leeching off of you, if they're not contributing, then you just
you're not doing that.
slowly
Yeah,
cut them off. You just slowly phase them out. But like yeah, usually like if a
I
guy
think
shows up to the party and you're like, who do you know here? He's like, and you're like, dude, get the fuck out. That's it.
yeah, it's because of value. It's like why does a guy like the hot girl? She's got the value, you know. She's like got the beauty and everything. So I would say that with the gospel, there's one of my clients back in the day is a funny motherfucker. He would basically, in order his like social circle, he would sleep with the girl and then bring her in the social circle. So every girl in the social circle had slept with him. And so under no circumstance a girl could like bag him out because if she's bagging him out, every other girl slept with him as well. So he created this like fortress of like he's God almost. It's fucking great. I loved it. I was like, yeah, this is my man, my man. But you're always gonna when you have big personalities in there, that's where it gets a little bit testy. So it depends on the big personalities because they're gonna clash. They're gonna it's like anything. Once you get a group chat above like 15, 20 people, clash is gonna happen because people it's like a status hierarchy, unless you have like, it's like, are you going to define the clear leader? Who's the second leader? Who's the third? It comes back to a DNA thing. So I would say with the Gossman stuff, you're just trying to clear communication. Like if someone has a problem with someone, I will say, look, let's handle this in the public, Let's actually like bring this to a surface because I think everyone's going to win if you bring it to the surface. Uh, you're gonna have like I don't want gossip to be simmering underneath the relationship because that's when shit gets bad. That's when like you got a little bit of a testy, and then this guy sleeps with this girl, and that was your like, and then it just becomes just a snowball. So I
Yeah.
think the guys, especially in the friend circle, have to have a very clear communication, and the girls are always going to be a little bit catty, back and forth because that's how girls are. But with that, you can be like someone's got to be the litigator of it, and if someone's really cool, calm, collected. Usually, for me, that's me, and so I'll just kind of like play devil's advocate a lot with the girls and kind of bring them to a mutual understanding at least. So that's how I deal with that. But overall, yeah, that's kind of like you're not going to get too much of that if you don't tolerate that shit. Like if they get kicked out real quick, people are going to be,
Yeah, yeah. So I guess to speak to that a little bit more, you hit it on the head with not engaging in it. Like if you don't talk shit behind people's back, and if like you don't really acknowledge it, if somebody tries to talk shit to you, then like you kind of just cut the drama off at the source and you don't feed it, then it doesn't grow.
so
But I think a lot of guys get worried about it because what they do is they try to be a little bit skeevy or they try to hide their intentions. I think the more you just kind of live openly and honestly, like a lot of the girls in my social circle know that I'm a whore, right? Like they know that I'm hooking up with chicks. Some of them are happy for me. Like they want to source girls for me. Like for some reason that gives them a sense of satisfaction. It's the weirdest shit, dude. Like you'll get those girls in your social life who just want you to get laid. Sometimes you hook up with them, sometimes you don't. But like if you live that radical life of honesty, like, hey, this is just who I am, and you kind of let that be the filter. You just have so much abundance in your life. You have so much going on that you don't have to worry about like what people think about it. Dude, just worry about your own sense of satisfaction. That's a lot of it. If a girl asks you, "Oh, are you hooking up with other chicks?" Yeah. Yeah, of course. You met me in a room full of 32 women. What do you mean? Like a lot of guys get it in their head that like they have to hide what they're doing. It's just no, this
I think
is
that
who I
comes
am.
back from the cold approach stuff where it is that like hiding the intention till the
Yeah,
final
yeah, yeah.
moment. And I
Yeah.
think that's one thing that a lot of people don't understand where it's just like you can be honest. Like honesty is
Yeah.
actually like really, really good, especially in that. Like I think one of the going back to like this is a side tangent, but one of the best cold approaches you can do is actually like fully laying your cards on the table. and be like, you make me feel very nervous to talk to you. You have like an incredible beauty, but I want to come and say hi. Like that, something like that, where you actually like it's like a Chris Voss tactic. You guys know Chris Voss?
Oh, I fucking love Chris Voss too.
Yeah,
That's
so
one of my
Chris Voss is like the FBI negotiator, Ice. He's the guy. He's a real good technician for
Oh,
like words. And one of his things is like if you can hit someone,
yeah, I
yeah,
know now.
hitting someone correctly. I love it. And it's like, let's say if you have really bad news, you don't just go, hey, like how you going? You know, how's your day? Have you ever had someone hit you up and being like, how you going, Ice? You're really, really good. How's your things? Oh yeah, by the way, can I come on your pod? Like they're just doing it to get something out of you.
Mhm.
Chris talks about, he talks about in the dealings, it's like bringing the elephant out in the room a little bit. It's been like, I've got really bad news to tell you. I don't know how you're going to react. Boom. If you hit that to someone, that's like all the cards are on the table, And I think a lot of the time with the cold approach, it's like, don't show emotion, don't do this, don't do that, hide all your things, hide your intentions, hide this. And it's such a weird thing to do that I think where they don't like social circle. Sorry, might have got them confused. Cold approach, you're hiding your intentions. Social circle, you're playing your cards out completely. And a lot of the time you didn't realize that a lot of people just respect that because you're just honest.
Yeah, well, and I don't know. I still very much like cold approach. I think generally I'll go a little bit more indirect with the cold approach, but it's not that you're hiding intentions. It's like that's probably what fucks guys up the most is the thought still, even on a cold approach, they're like, I need to be hidden, that what I'm doing is not socially acceptable, that it's weird. And again, like memorizing a bunch of lines and routines and like having your whole social interaction planned out from start to finish, yeah, that does get to be a bit weird, and most people would frown down on that or frown upon that. But if you can come back to a place of just genuinely, hey, I'm interested, I'm not sold yet. Like, where does this girl fit into my life? That allows you to cold approach so much more freely. Like, you walk up to that girl, yeah, of course, I open with a compliment, but it's still like, hey, I like this thing about you. Who are you? Is this a girl that I'm going to go on a date with and go hook up with tonight? Great. Is she a girl that maybe would be an awesome fit for my buddy? Oh, hey, you should meet this dude. Oh, are you just fun? Do you want to come to my party? Oh, are you into modeling? Do you want to come to my photo shoot? It's like that allows you to make fundamentally a better cold approach because you don't need anything out of that person and you're just kind of trying to figure out, all right, well, where do you fit into my life? And so if you can just have that approach to it as opposed to trying to strictly get laid, makes you a better cold approach too. But anyways, I gotta hop soon, guys. Ice, did appreciate the invite as always. Thank you so much. And we'll catch you on the flip side, man. Sam, good hanging out.
You as well, John.
Thanks. Thanks for jumping in.
See you guys.
I'll throw in something else on the top of my mind there. Often girls will inform you of, weird things going on. So I remember quite a few instances. I'll just throw in a few examples. So one time when I was doing a photo shoot, this was a good 7 years ago. And the photographer seemed like an okay guy at the time and got some genuinely good photos of me doing a photo shoot with a woman. And after the photo shoot, he started to white knight me and say these weird things about me behind my back. And then she told me about it. So
Yeah.
it's funny because a lot of women will actually report these things back to you, and then you get to know like who the true nature of some people. Now that guy wasn't really a friend. He was just like had an agenda to like pull her away from me.
Yeah.
And that's just one example. This guy actually like continues to block to this day. I don't think he actually coaches people, but it's just a funny thing where it's just like, oh wait, it's that guy. So another example, a few years back, I went to a nightclub in Canada with two female friends I already knew for some time, and then another female friend they just introduced to me either that day or that week. And we all went out, me and the three of them. And then there were some guys who bought a table, and they were all men, and they were trying to like invite us to the table, get us the VIP bands and everything. And then they would like sit. The girls would be in interactions with them because the guys have an agenda. They go to the girls, and then the girls just come back to you and report how it is. So it's funny the kinds of things they were reporting back. Like one of them said, he was telling me he's an engineer, and it was like the most boring conversation ever. And I asked him a question and he couldn't answer it. I was like, damn, that guy's dumb. I can't remember like the exact fucking thing
Something.
said.
Yeah.
And then like the same night,
Hmm.
there was a guy hitting on one of the others and outside the nightclub as we were leaving. And one of them realized, wait a minute, his shirt is inside out. Does your mommy need to dress you? It's just so funny how creative and like out in the open
Yeah.
women are about this kind of shit. They'll just simply let you know what the fuck is happening with these other
Yeah.
guys. And if you're the leader of the group, even just for the night with this random social group,
Crazy.
they'll just fucking report this shit straight to you. It's pretty fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Anyway, any other stuff on this?
Yeah, no, that was pretty good. I don't know why these guys don't like list 3 hours of their time. I'm like, most of your thing goes for 3 hours. I'm like, I booked 3 fucking hours off because I'm like, Ice is gonna go 4 hours, 5 hours. I'm like, it's a long podcast. Imagine being on Joe Rogan and being like, nah, after 30 minutes, Joe, I gotta go. That's just me.
Well, that's the difference is Joe does it in person, so
Yeah, for sure, for
in a
sure.
way it's harder for Joe because if he wants to interview
Other people. Yeah.
Tyler, fuck, what's the rock star's name? Uh, fuck, Boston Tyler, fuck, I can't remember his name now.
Oh, Perry,
Um,
Tyler.
fuck, whatever.
Yeah,
If a celebrity is like in New York,
yeah,
obviously
for
he
sure.
can't do the podcast, but if they happen to be in Austin,
Yeah,
then very
exactly.
easily. But for me, I have the reach. I could reach someone in people
Anywhere.
across the planet. So that's why I can have a lot of guys at the same time. But then
Yeah.
again, it's different time zones.
Of course,
So
of course.
some
Yeah.
guys got to
I'm only,
do
I'm
other
only, I'm
stuff.
only
So
teasing. I'm only giving a bit of shit here and there. Gotta have some fun with it. I'm always like, oh, 3 hours.
throwing shade on our collaborators, are you
No,
now?
I ain't throwing shade. I'm just saying. I'm looking, the time's a big thing. I love timing. I'm a big like stickler. I work with very, very like
Mm.
high.
I'm like a frog. You know the saying where, if you're a frog in boiling water, the frog
Yeah.
doesn't jump out. Apparently it's not true, or I don't care.
Apparently, I heard
It's
this
just a
is
metaphor.
incorrect. Yeah, I
But
heard this.
I'm one of those guys where I will stick to something for the rest of my life just because I fucking will. Like
Yeah,
I don't
exactly.
quit things. I'm still attached to things from way over 10 years ago
But that's
that I
that's
still
if you do
fucking do.
podcasts and everything, that like the good shit happens in like an hour in. Either like you need an hour to even warm up your vocal cords just to be able to be like have the ideas. Like a lot of the time when I watch podcasts, I skip to 45 minutes in. Just because like that's all like the normal stuff that they talk about, and then they get to the juicy stuff. Like they're actually flowing there mentally, physically. They're really saying some cool shit there. That's a little hack you
Jamie, put up that video of a bear fighting a baby
Yeah, exactly.
covered in soy sauce. Like, what the fuck? Some
Exactly,
Joe
exactly.
Rogan shit.
I think the social circle stuff just in general, it's just like, it's a good example. Let's go back to that. That's a really good thing. Me having a little dig at them and then coming back. It's just like, that's a really cool thing. These guys have got shit going on all of the time. Like,
Mm.
it's like, we just had Jordan jump out because he probably had to go do something, you know what I mean? And at the end of the day, it's like if you're always having different things go on, that's the big thing. We just had Justin come in from 3 yachts, so it's like they got shit going on all the
In the
time.
middle of a fucking lake.
Yeah, exactly. So we got
Yeah.
sort of stuff, and then that's where I think, honestly, if I was to give a little bit of a deeper research on understanding it for these guys, it's like, I think once you get past the cold approach stuff and you get pretty good and you get okay, you naturally you will start to gravitate towards social circle. Like it's like, actually, if you're switched on, you got a bit of self-awareness, you understand, okay, I don't have all the time in the world. I have to leverage things. And if you understand business, you understand leverage, which is, okay, I don't have 6 hours a day. I can't, I've got to go work. I've got to go do all these things. It's like, what can I do that still gives me the same results in less amount of time, less energy, but also gets me better results and still progress. And I'm seeing progress. And that's things that are compounding rather than one for one every day.
It reminds me of opportunity. I gather that you're an opportunist because you told me the story of how you got into real social dynamics and
Yeah.
you took a fucking risk or something. And
Yeah.
then
Big risk.
you sometimes just gotta view things that way.
Yeah.
Especially with something like social circle game, because I think you or one of the other guys mentioned exposure. I think everyone pretty much fucking
Yeah,
mentioned
yeah.
that. If you don't leave your house and shit like that,
Yep.
I call it presence. So I simply say I've been talking about that concept for a good few weeks very regularly now
Yep.
because guys are like, I'm too busy and what well, there's your answer. You
Yeah.
don't exist. You have no physical presence because you're not leaving the house. And
Yeah.
because you refuse to use dating apps or social media, you have no virtual presence. So
Yeah,
just
exactly.
imagine the reason McDonald's and Walmart are successful is because they're accessible. They have the presence everywhere you go. Like they got stores everywhere you go, pretty much.
Mhm.
But the main point is when you are in front of that store, the doors are accessible. They
Yeah.
might not look like they're open, but you go to it, it's going to open, or you just push it open. If they
Yeah.
bricked up the fucking doors, nobody would be able to get in. If they
Yep.
didn't have a sign saying McDonald's and
Yeah.
Walmart, you wouldn't know what the fuck it is. So
Exactly.
it's like you have to understand if you're living in a fucking jail cell that you built yourself that has no doors
Yeah.
to the outside world visiting you, or if you're just an open fucking concept building that
Yeah.
everyone can fucking see through because
Yeah.
you got giant windows, you got the logo that people fucking recognize. It's
Mhm.
all about well, it's not all about accessibility, but being accessible is such a
Yeah.
huge thing.
Oh, huge,
Being
huge.
present.
A big present, getting outside the house. This is a big thing, man. Yeah, it's like if the guys are like, I don't have time to do this, that is, well, number one, you can see even their mental, like how they think, right? Which is if they don't have any time, they've never worked on their life in terms of their business life, being like, oh, how do I make it so I have more time? You know, how do I do what I'm doing with less amount of energy? So they don't even have the mental RAM to be able to do that in their business, let alone in their dating and social life. So that's a big problem that they already have. That's a big thing. It's like, okay, well, they haven't worked on how do I make everything more efficient in my life? So you can just see that, just like that mental model right there. It's like, okay, start to work on efficiency in your life. And bang, you'll open up more time, more energy. And that's where they'll get into social circle. It's kind of like, I say that the guys that are a little bit more intellectual, a little bit more kind of switched on and self-aware, really get into social circle because they understand leverage, they understand compound, and they understand, like, what I just said, which was like efficiency, having everything just work really, really seamlessly. And that's what it attracts. And so I think a lot of the time as they go back to the cold approach guys, that they get stuck in the loop of like, I got to get my approaching better. I got to get my A1, A2, A3, like, all those kind of things. And then be that as it may, it does work for sure, 100%. I just where I'm going and where I want to do, it's obviously like why I teach and why I preach it, because it's just easier. In life, you can work on your business, you can work on social life, you can work on dating, and it's all encompassing. If guys knew that their business life, social life, and dating life is not just three things, it's actually one in general, their whole life would change. Their whole life.
Yeah, yeah. Oh my God, such a huge point there. Hmm. No, I really pay attention to 6 degrees of separation
Yeah.
connections because I literally do social circle game for the
Mm.
sake of the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Like when it comes to collaborations, I have to recognize if I want to have a particular person come on the channel,
Yeah.
then what connections do I already have? So Zan Perrin, for example, first time he came on, we're doing an interview with him in 2 days.
Mm.
First time he was on the channel, I was able to get him on because I mentioned Mystery is going to be here at the same time, and he's good friends with Mystery. Both
Yep.
of them were in the book The Game. So just
Yeah.
recognizing connections is such a huge fucking thing. It's
Huge.
something I guess I naturally had because as a movie nerd, I don't watch movies every day, but again, like when
Yeah.
I do, I see, oh, fuck, that actor was in the summer thing. I go on a
Yep.
Wikipedia page. Of course, Hollywood is connected. Like,
Yeah.
it shouldn't be surprising, but I'm just so fascinated by coincidences.
Yeah. Yeah.
One happened today. I was in the news today on New York Magazine. They made an article and they put MGAI, my AI wingman, in there, and they mentioned my book too, and a few quotes from myself. And the second second that I posted it on Telegram, someone sent me a message with the link to that article saying, "Hey, you were mentioned in that article." So it's like, yes, because hence my point,
Yeah.
virtual presence or just
Yeah.
presence in general, because the person was able to tell me that. I already knew about it, but
Yeah.
there's a fucking connection right there. People will be able to show you cool things that are going on. It
Yeah.
was only recently that I really got to um uh consistently be able to get over 1,000 views on Instagram stories now because I built that up over time.
Yep.
So I see that social circle game is very much a long-term game. And the mistakes I see over and over again for most guys is simply the fact that they're never getting into it. And then they
Yeah.
waste a few years having not optimized a few very simple things, such as social media, because they
Yeah.
just refuse to use it. I'm like, I don't want to waste my time scrolling on Facebook and Instagram. Hey,
Yeah.
guess what? I don't, but I fucking use it.
Do it.
So
Yeah.
it's like you're worried of falling into the trap, which I understand, wasting your time using social media. But that's a usage, that's a skill issue. That's a
Yeah.
usage issue.
Huge.
It's like
Huge.
you could use it just like all the other suckers who waste hours of their time each day,
Yeah.
or you can recognize that you can use it in a different way to your advantage.
For
So
sure.
a lot of this really is a matter of perspective.
Yeah, no, it always is. That was great. Speaking of two different things, matter of perspective. People want to know what that means. It's like imagine if me and you, I had a piece of paper and there was an arrow drawn to it. Let's say the arrow is going this way, right? So for me, it would be I would look at the piece of paper and for me, it would look like it's pointing to the left. You would look at it from this perspective, what I'm seeing, and it would look like it's pointing to the right. That's what a matter of perspective is. Both are exactly correct. From my side, it looks to the left. From your side, it looks to the right. That's a perspective. Just when looking at something in two different, if everyone didn't know that, you can look at the same thing that's exactly true, but from different perspectives. It's incredible. Absolutely incredible. I'll see if I can send that to you. This is a really cool little article from there. The other thing too, like you said, it's just like I noticed these guys would go do these cold approach stuff and then they would get a girlfriend, then they get out of the girlfriend, like the issue with the girlfriend, and then they've lost their game. Oh, I've got no game. Back to square one. Like imagine doing that 4 or 5 times. You'd actually like it's like to keep my confidence high, I have to get validation from girls every day. Otherwise, I tell myself that I'm not good enough as a man. Like imagine that you're running that as like a 65-year-old. Could never be me, bro. Like, and that's the big thing. When you build a social circle, you understand that you get introduced to people, you get new leads coming in, you get new people coming in, even when you're in a relationship. In fact, in a relationship is actually easier to meet people because now it's you and your girl as a team meeting a bunch of different people. And
that's a funny point because my wife, I have lived in Peru 3 times now.
Yeah.
First time I came to Peru, I realized, shit, my wife has a really fucking solid social circle. Like we would go to beach houses, beach apartments for free and shit like that.
Yeah.
And then girls would come and look, well, this is fucking normal for her. Like, what the fuck? So
yeah,
that's when I realized that kind of thing. I had girlfriends before, of course, and there were some similar things, but not to this extent. So
Yeah.
that's a funny point.
Well, no, it's massive, you know. That's when it gets juicy. That's when you have fun, you know what I mean? To Justin's point, you know, he gets his girls to get other girls and they have great experiences. You can do that. You can do any sort of different way. Like this whole idea is that it's like a steak. There's 20 different ways to cook a steak. People like it 5 different ways. You know, there's so many different ways to do everything, you know what I mean? But there's one way that I do know that actually compounds and makes your life better, and one way that keeps it very similar. And I was like, well, I want the way that keeps my life progressing. You know, when I'm 30, I want to be the most connected person in the nursing home. You know, when my kids eventually chuff me off and have a check, and hopefully the check doesn't bounce back to them one day and I've cocked it. That's what I wanted. I wanted to, you know, these are skills that last well before you're like well after your 20s and 30s. These are going in your 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s, you know? And this is the crazy
connections
thing.
remain. Yeah.
Exactly.
Here's an example. Just 2 weeks ago or something, I got a message from a celebrity, an actor. He was in
Nice.
the movie Gladiator. He was in Pirates of the Caribbean. He was
Damn,
in
nice.
what's The Mummy. He was in The Mummy. He sent me a message. I haven't seen him since 2019, the start of
Crazy.
2019. We met in 2018.
Yep.
And he sent me a message making a joke about immigration, customs, and enforcement. Is that the term? I can't remember.
Yep.
He made a joke about that because of my fucking name. So I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
damn. And then I sent him a photo back. I was like, wait, this American general looks like you.
Oh yeah.
And this guy's a comedian and an actor in a lot of movies and stuff. And he just like randomly sent me a message because
Wow.
he's still connected to me. So it's
Yeah.
like
Hmm.
every once in a while, like maybe half a year from now, I could send him a message randomly about the most random thing, and
Yeah.
then he'll respond. So it's like that example, that's literally a fucking celebrity in a lot of movies, does comedy shows, has his own YouTube channel and everything. I even met his wife. He went to my fucking house
Wow.
back in 2018. I got multiple photos with the guy. He
Yeah.
invited me to one of his shows. These are and like, who am I? I'm just, that was before I had a fucking YouTube channel.
Yeah, that
Like
was a long time ago.
I had a different YouTube channel at the time, but I had like 200 subscribers. So
Yep.
it's like, that's to say,
Hmm.
social circle game is really a snowball effect,
Yeah.
and some snowflakes will fall off, but when it keeps rolling, a lot more will join. So
Yeah.
when I check my Instagram analytics, for example,
Mhm.
I'll see there are some unfollows,
Yeah.
but the net following over time is still
Positive.
bigger. It's still
Yeah.
positive.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure.
So that's how it works. Like I only realized perhaps a week ago, because Instagram has a new feature.
Hmm.
You can check on your followers section something along the lines of creators, and it just gives
Yep.
you like a shorter list of creators who follow you. And
Yep.
I just went down the list. I was like, let's see if,
This
Trump
one.
is on here or some
Yeah.
shit,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
jokingly. And then I was like, oh shit, there are literally women with millions of followers who just follow me. And I don't even know why. Maybe it was like a random reel I posted.
That's pretty
But I'm
funny.
like, okay, there's something interesting. So I
Yeah.
just went down that list and then tried to acknowledge who would be useful to send a message to
Of
or
course. Yeah.
collaborate with in the future.
100%. Well,
And
you're plugged in.
that would never have happened if I
Yeah.
didn't start an Instagram profile, if I
I mean,
didn't create stuff on there.
as you said, you're only 2 degrees away from, Charlie Kirk, which was just pearly things, knows Charlie, just pearly things, knows Candace Owens, Brett
Mm.
Cooper. You got, a bunch of different people in there. So it's like, when you really look at it, you're not
Yeah.
that far away from a lot
And
of
people
people.
come to me for connections now. Just Pearly Things came to me just over a week ago asking if I can introduce her to mystery. So
Yep.
it's like she knows that I'm good with mystery. So the people come to you too. Like
Yeah.
I must have had 2 years ago only 4,000 subscribers on YouTube.
Crazy.
4,000 subscribers, that's not much.
Yeah.
And Dan Bilzerian joined the fucking Zoom call on our first ever debate. I was testing
Crazy.
out a new format of
Yeah.
content, and Dan fucking Bilzerian joined, and a few other pretty well-known
Yeah.
people.
Yeah. For sure.
And
100%.
it's just crazy the shit that happens when you make yourself accessible and when you just start experimenting and
Yeah.
doing the most random things.
And this is why it makes your life better, your whole life, not just the girl part. It makes your whole life better. New connections, new experiences, new events, amazing experiences like you just had on your first live. So it's a big thing. Now, a lot of people will see that and be like, "Yo, I'm very, very anti cold approach." Not that I'm anti cold approach. I'm anti like that. That's the only way to do things. That's what I'm anti. Where it's like, there's no other way, and it's like, brother, let's be real here. Let's be real
I
here, my
just,
bro, because a lot of them like
I,
to say that. They like to, that's their position, that's their marketing strategy. There's no other way to do it. It's like, I see how that can work and I see how people fall for it, but it's not the truth.
Yeah, I got nothing against day game.
Yeah.
The unique thing about day game, of course, and I guess part of this is gimmicky, but part of it is useful. Some of the appeal for a lot of the appeal with day game is it's the only type of game that isn't really conventional. It's not along with the social norms. Night game, like I know plenty of people who met at nightclubs who are like 1 or 2 generations older than me, including people's parents. And normal people go to nightclubs. Like it's not a pickup artist thing. And social circle game that has existed for thousands of years. Message game, like since approximately 2020. Now there's a study from Stanford University, and I can't remember the name of the guy who did it. I talked to him a few times, Michael or something, Michael. He did a study over the years of how couples meet in the USA for relationships heterosexually. And since approximately 2020, now the internet is responsible for more than 50% of relationships, heterosexual relationships starting. Whereas before that didn't exist in until 1995. So it was like 2% in the 90s, and now it's more than 50% in the 2020s.
You and I both remember there was a time where there was stigma on online dating. There was a massive stigma. Like people didn't want to say that they met.
Oh, there still is. The article I was in today, it was like anti-online dating and shit like that.
I'd say like people are much more proud to say they met on Hinge or met on somewhere or Raya. Like they're like they used to.
The fact is that they met. So I'm not rolling out day game. It's like any way to meet women aside from like going to prison or something is a valid way. Like even meeting in prison or something weird. Any way in the fucking universe is basically a good way to meet women. Like if it gets you, if it happens, it fucking happens. So my point is like, it doesn't matter necessarily how you meet. It's just like, are you doing it? Or are you just refusing to meet women this way because excuse one, excuse two,
of course,
like the refusal
they're like, oh,
to use online dating and shit like that. Any way to meet a woman is fucking good. I'm all for that.
I think for business owners specifically, I think what the biggest thing that they'll find is that because they've built a business, anyone that's built a business or any sort of entrepreneurial venture will understand the importance of building something over time that brings back results, ROI, like return on investment, that means. So I think that's a big thing that a lot of time, if you've done that, you understand the benefit of like energy that you put in, you want to return back. And in a lot of ways, you know, at the start, it's 1 for 1 unit of energy for 1 unit back. But at the end of the day, it's like Justin did, 1 unit of energy, you know, 10 units back. And that's what you want. That's like, you know, a profitable business as well. You put $10 of ad spend in, you get $100 back. That's profitable. That's profitability. I think so. So Social Circle definitely gives you a profitable ROI on your time, investment, energy at the end of the day.
Yeah, I want to throw in a concept about from Dan Bilzerian's book, The Setup. Essentially, it's like no matter what you're doing anyway, you might as well just invite people to it. So he had a similar example, like he was just going out on a boat on a lake or something in Florida. And he was just like, instead of going on one-on-one dates, he was just inviting women to just hang out with him, whatever he was doing. So it's like for the guys watching, I just want you guys to realize whatever you're gonna do anyway, or whatever you find fun, instead of doing it alone. Or I was never a guy who really had a bunch of male bro friends, or like I had a lot of friends, of course, when I was younger. But one of my best friends tried to kill me, and I got some dark fucking stories. And I was like, I had female best friends when I was young too, and I was like, okay, I prefer this because you know she's not trying to kill me or
exactly.
Like so it's like I got exposed to that kind of female friendship very fucking early on. But my point is like, instead of going for a beer with the bros every fucking Saturday, do something else you find fun and invite a bunch of women instead, because you're not getting you're not inspiring a chick magnet operation just by hanging out with the boys, the beer boys, as I call them. No, the beer bros, as I say.
100%.
It's just going to be the same pattern you're already doing nothing's really going to change. But
Yeah.
if you just stop going to places alone, stop
Mhm.
going to places with only male friends,
Yeah.
switch it the fuck up. Whoever you're meeting, whether it's day game, night game, message game, whatever,
Yeah.
invite them to something. Not as a one-on-one date, but you're just
You hanging
hanging
out.
out. Like
Yeah.
as Justin was saying earlier, how someone went on a date, but it wasn't a date, but it was a date. That's basically the friend frame. It doesn't matter what you label it as.
Yeah.
If you say it's not a date or shit like, or think of it not as a date, you're
Yeah.
simply two humans hanging out. The label is not relevant. You
Yeah.
still have a penis that can be used. And hanging out in the proximity of a woman, like something can happen. It's not like it's impossible. If you set it as not a date or friend frame or something.
100%.
So it's one of those things where you just got to be in that proximity.
I think a lot of the time what a big thing, especially with the when you go back at the cold bro for a social circle, that kind of like frame battle that we have. I think one thing that is glaringly obvious is with the cold approach stuff, they're trying to sleep with the girl as quick as humanly possible. And when you have that, I'm not saying it's a bad idea, I'm not saying it's a good idea, but you have a little inclination inside your soul that it's like, oh, if she hangs out with me long enough, she might not like me. Just a slight little subtlety of that. In order to have that, because if you were the most confident version of yourself, you would know it's just time, energy, the right place, the right everything. It's just timing, right? But a lot of these guys are like, oh, how can I do it quick, 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 quick? Because she might find out who I really am, which is like a dork. Just that little subtlety right inside of them. And I've seen it. I can see it in their eyes. I can see the little speck of it being like, oh, I got to do it quick. And I think with the social circle guys, either they've had a lot of experience, or B, they understand that if I spend more time with the girl, she's going to like me more, not less. And that was a big distinction between the two. And I noticed it between the two guys. One guy's trying to rush it a little bit quick. The other guy is relaxed. And I'm like, what's the difference between the two? Just slightly. It might not be even noticeable to the common eye, but I can just tell there's that slight, for the cold approach guy, slight little insecurity in there. And because I had it, remember, I was one of the pioneers back in the day of this whole shit. This is why it's interesting for me, because it's like, yo, I was teaching this shit in 2015. Bro, I was like one of the guys that were putting on about this. And so if I've had this change, it's because I've been through the whole timeline. I've seen everything, 10 plus years now. So I'm on this side because I can see the little subtlety differences between the two. And that makes a massive impact, especially when you're trying to find your ideal girls, your ideal environments, friendships, those subtleties are, all the results are in the subtleties a lot of the time.
100%. Yeah. Any other things you want to talk about? I got more questions, but
Yeah, hit the question. Let's do the questions.
all right, let's see here. I want to save a few of these. I would definitely want to do another one of these because
Yeah.
I definitely want to have a guy like Michael jump on. He couldn't make it to this one short notice before change of plans, but there are some solid questions for a future one. But aside from that, yeah, how about some examples of group activities in social circle game guys can start doing? And what are some activities you tend to do almost routinely?
Yeah, for sure, 100%. Well, my life's a little bit like replicable right now, but back in the day, let's say back in the day when I go in a city and I lock it down, we used to do alliteration games. Taco Tuesday, Margarita Monday, Thirsty Thursday, Freaky Friday, just like Sunday Fun Day. I love alliteration. Alliteration is one of my funnest things ever. So we used to do that, man. So Taco Tuesday was the easiest one you can do. The Taco Tuesday is literally like a $20 to $30 activity if you have a
Wait,
plan.
shit, I just realized I did that yesterday.
Yeah,
Oh
it's
no
like
way.
$30.
I wasn't even aware it was a Tuesday.
Yeah, there you go. Taco Tuesday. So if you're like, okay, like there are some activities. Like this is the guy that's not like, I have no friends, I have nothing. It's like, okay, first of all, before you throw events, go out and get some people. You know what I mean? Like we're talking about the guys just like, okay, I want to start to invite sort of people together. I've got a bit of money, I can do whatever I want. It's like Taco Tuesday is some of the easiest things. So you go there, you cook a bunch of stuff, you invite some people over, you have some beers, you chill out, You have some music on, boom. And then what do you know? One of the girls that likes you ends up staying to the end. Oh, and then now she's in a place, you go hang out, she likes you, things can happen. So there's that. There's also new people that get introduced. So the one that I've seen very successful is like you get a group of people together and you do Sunday fun day. Very successful. That means every Sunday you do a new activity. So that might be tennis, that might be paddle, pickleball, that might be jet skiing, that might be yachts, that might be anything that you can do that's interesting and fun. Create a group chat, add a bunch of people in there, and then Sunday fun day is going to be your day to do things. I've seen that be very, very successful for a lot of guys. Then they can go into the dinners and the nightclubs, and then they can go into that stuff. But you can bring it back to basics. It could be like I've seen guys start off with picnics in the park, right? Again, you see the alliteration, picnic in the park, you know? So anything, if anyone wants to know why I do alliteration, it's just easier for the human brain to remember it. So if you
Yeah,
ask
better
about
marketing.
people and they remember it, probably going to get a bit more people come to your place. So yeah, so I would start with there. It's not, it doesn't even have to be that crazy of a thing. It could be just going back to the bar the same time, the same place, and you organize the people to go to the bar at the same time, same place. That could be a thing. It could be a dinner. It could be a trip. Like you can go, further and further and organize a whole trip with a bunch of people to Greece or something. Like you can go as far as you want. It's up to your idea. You could have a massive party, but I would say stick with the really simple stuff until you know how to throw events. That's how I'd start.
Yeah, if I think of some of my own examples, I don't have a barbecue right now, but I used to do a lot of fucking barbecues before,
Yeah.
probably because I'm a fat bastard, but it's a really fucking fun thing. People can bring their, if I just allocate a few people to, you bring some cheese, you bring a couple of burgers and whatever, you bring bread. It's like everyone's responsible for like one or two things,
Of course.
and you'll have your own as backup anyway, but it's like the more people that come, the more food that we have, so
There we
there's
go.
no supply issue. If you're coming, just bring one or two simple things. Everyone's gonna fucking do it. So
Yeah.
that's a fun one. I did like random restaurant ones. We had a Canadian group in London when I was living in London, and I just like did these meetups for Canadians living in London. And a lot of the time, men didn't show up. It was just women there. So there were a few times when,
Yeah.
oh, I'm the only guy here and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
from
100%.
university, the most random things like create. One of my first examples at university, I think it was like the first week,
Yep.
there was like an introduction thing where people would just like gather, have a few drinks, and the university put out some bottles of wine on the table and stuff like that. The lecturers were there,
Yeah.
the professors or whatever. And it got pretty boring after a little bit. So I conspired with some of the people there to say, hey, you see my duffel bag over there? Grab a few bottles of wine and whatever, and we're gonna head out and go back to my place and have a little after party kind of thing. So I got in trouble with my landlord because of that, because apparently you're not supposed to bring a bunch of fucking people into the house for a spontaneous party. But there you go. So I ended up with like 3 bottles of wine. I don't even drink wine, but
Yeah.
I literally took a bunch of people across the city on a train
Yeah.
just to leave the university for this random small house gathering,
Damn.
taking some bottles from university supplies. So that was fun times.
That's
The
good.
most random fucking things, and of course here in Peru, recently there was a birthday of my wife's one of the friends from high school. So she went with her female friends and myself to some random like Mexican bar in Miraflores in Lima. And at this particular venue, I looked around and the ratio was literally at least 90% female. I was like, what the fuck? I see like one old guy over there with one other guy. And like aside from that, there was like one guy there and nobody else. It's just all fucking women. And I'm like, these venues do exist.
Yeah.
So we done beach houses, had some female friends of my wife's come over there too.
Yeah, beach days. Yeah, they
So
name
many
it.
different
Yeah.
examples.
I think a good thing if you got in a place, an apartment, you could do a prees before going to the nightclub. Wouldn't do after party just at the start because you probably don't know how to organize it that per se. You can a little bit more advanced, and plus your place is going to get a little trashed as well. You know, the
Yeah,
other
so my last girlfriend, I had for our first date, I had her come over for pre-drinks,
yeah,
and then we went to the nightclub, which I had VIP at, so she got to
sure.
see backstage, be on the stage
Yeah.
and everything. And then we went back to my place, and we started dating for quite a while after that.
Perfect. I know
She
the other,
became
I
my
know the other
girlfriend.
guys will say like use Instagram and run like photo shoots and everything like that. It's another strategy. There's so many different strategies. I like it the simplest the better, just because guys like, sometimes they're not as experienced as running events, if that makes sense. So you make it a little
Mhm.
bit quicker so they could do like an entrepreneurial dinner. They could do just a meetup where they all organize and talk about one topic, maybe a cigar lounge, get a bunch of dudes, get used to like hosting people and then bring the girls in as well. That could be another thing. I know one of the times I remember I hosted a Taco Tuesday in this place and it was just all dudes that came. And I was like, oh, fuck, that sucks. Anyways, I'll have a good night. But then the dudes invited me to the nightclubs and then they had a bunch of girls there and I cold approached a bunch of girls in the club and there was some girls there. So I built that off like a two-step stage there. Thousand different things you could do. I mean, it's just like it's a scary part that these guys just don't want to do, and I think it's just the next step that's necessary. I mean, I've had events where no one showed up, and that's what you're gonna have to have. Don't be scared of
Yeah,
that. No, you
been
just gotta
there.
be like,
Like,
how can I make it? How
man,
can I make it
nobody
better?
came.
Yeah, exactly. No, I
It
had a
sucks,
sushi. I
but that
had
only
a sushi
happens at
night.
the start normally.
Yeah, sushi night. I organized, no one came, and I was like, how do I make it so it looks like it's cool? So I did an Instagram story with like the chef of like the sushi place, like teppanyaki that hits eggs and stuff, and I
Oh
caught
yeah.
it. And no one knew that there was no people there. And everyone was like, damn, like, I can't believe I missed it. So I made it
Mhm.
look like there was people there. It's all optics, right? And the next time I hosted an event and more people came, and I was like, wow. So from 0 to like 8 people, I was like, wow. And then from 8 to 16 and 16 to 32 and just goes on from there. I always say about 7 events. If you can throw 7 events, small to getting larger, you will never have to worry about like you'll understand the event process from start to finish,
Mm,
And they can be as
yeah.
expensive as you want, or they can be as cheap as you want either. I wasn't doing it expensively when I first started.
Yeah, exactly.
Good question.
Let's jump on to number one. How can people befriend celebrities or people who have a particular high level of status, fame, money, or power?
Of course, yeah, no, really, really good question. I actually have a YouTube video about 10 steps that you can do, and a very, very good video. But I think the biggest one, okay, I'll break it down to you like this. If you get the opportunity to meet someone, meet a celebrity, meet something, there's two different ways to do it. The biggest way that you're going to do it, and this is from someone that has met a lot of individuals, very, very high level individuals, is that they're usually known for something. So if I say The Rock, what is The Rock known for?
First wrestling, I think.
Wrestling, yeah. The Rock is like WWE, the biggest thing, right? But if you talk to The Rock about something that he's not known for, so back in the day, he just launched his tequila brand and he's got a bit of ego attached to it and wants it to do well and it's not doing well. So if you talk to him about the tequila, he is going to want to talk to you more because you're talking about something that he's actually interested in. How many people have come up to him and said, "You're my favorite wrestler, you're my this." And we can do this with any celebrity in the world, right? You name another celebrity, and it would be like, imagine going up to Tom Cruise and talking about Mission Impossible. You're like, God damn. But then there would be something in that. I'll give you a great example. Chuck Liddell, UFC fighter, champion Chuck Liddell. I met him at his birthday party. Harry Jousey's birthday party in LA. Harry Jousey, a friend of a friend. He was in Too Hot to Handle the first season. He was like the star of the show. I met Chuck Liddell there. Chuck Liddell's a huge, huge guy. And instead of talking about the UFC, I talked about one specific thing that I knew about Chuck. So Chuck had this rivalry with this other UFC fighter called Tito Ortiz. And I said to him, Chuck, I have a question for you. When you were versing Tito in number 3, and you were suffering with the weight cut, what did you da 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 da? I made a very specific thing. Fucking eyes lit up and was like, "Oh." And then began to talk to me for the next 45 minutes. because I knew something that not a lot of people had ever asked him before. I do it in my podcast with a lot of these individuals. Ask him about something. If you saw the Justin Waller interview that I did with him, I asked Justin Waller, I was like, you were in the 4 years that you played university college football, you were redshirted twice, then you made a few starts, and then last year you were the star of the show. And he was like, how the fuck did you know that? Like that shit. That's when you got him. You got him correctly. So you never talk about with someone or high school, you never talk about something that they're known for, always something that they're not known for. And they have a little bit of ego in there. You do that, you become friends with every single person. And
It's like Nardwar. You seen the Nardwar
that's
interviews
exactly
where
like
he's just
Nardwuar.
like
Yeah.
talking to random celebrities. When you were in high school or when you were 8 years old, and they're like, how the fuck did you find this out? Like their mind is
Their
completely
mind is
fucking blown.
blown. Now, when you see someone, sometimes it's going to be harder to like, oh my God, there's that person. Fuck, you don't have any information about them. You try to do a quick Google search. You can do that. Sometimes that has worked before. You know what I mean? But sometimes you're going to be in the shower after you've met them. You're like, damn, I should have said that. You're going to have lots of opportunities like that. You're going to be like, damn, I missed out on that opportunity. That's okay because every missed out opportunity, you'll eventually get better and quicker and be able to say some snappy lines to them, 1, 2 lines that might captivate their attention. Yeah, and that can happen. I was in Bali. I actually met one of my very a TV show. I have a lot of I watch it all the time. The lead actor in that, I was able to say something like that to him, and he was like, "Oh, which TV show?" And I was like, "Oh, Altered Carbon." And he was like, "Damn, okay." No one's ever come up to me and said that that was their favorite show. And so we talked about that, and we talked about different things, and I was saying specific things in the show that I liked, and he was giving me a lot of information. So there's certain ways that you can do it. When you have extra information about the people, that's where you're going to be really, really good. You're going to have a great kind of a great back and forth conversation with them. From there, I'm going to give you a bit of advice that I got. I was with Owen Cook, RSD Tyler in the Beverly Center, and we were living up in the mansion. And I never forgot this. I fucked it up so badly. So someone that came out, if you go on Justin Marc's Instagram, you'll see this character. His name's Sway Lee. He was part of this rap group called Ray Shrimmer. And he's a really, really prominent singer, great guy, like awesome. And he was coming out of Chipotle. And I said to him, I was like, yo, Sway, love your stuff. And this was when he was blowing up. It was like, yo, love da 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 da. We had a great conversation. Then we left. And then Owen was like, whoa, like, why didn't you invite him up to the mansion? We have a $25 million mansion. You didn't even invite him up. You could have said, like, hey, you can shoot a music video anytime you want up there. Long story short, in I always remembered it. So I'm like, if you get the opportunity to see a celebrity, you say something, and then you try to invite them to something that gives them a bit of value as well. I'm like, hey, I don't know what you're doing on Thursday. We've got this cool event. Love to send it to you, or maybe your publicist or your manager or your assistant. Is there a way I can talk to them? You never talk to them like this person. Like you always try to make them feel good, but also like, I don't want to bother you as well. There's a whole list that I've built out. I just can't even remember it. But that they're going to be like, yeah, absolutely. Because they're bored, man. They're so fucking bored, these people. Like they got cool things, but they never meet real people that just talk to them like normal people. And if you can
Yeah.
do that, you can lower that kind of anxiety of like, oh my God, it's a famous person, not fanboy, not ask for photos as well. I met so many people, guys. I have no photos with any of them.
I'm the same. I am exactly I was about to
Yep.
fucking say that
Yeah.
because oh my God.
The most
It,
cringiest
it's
thing.
it's crazy because
Yeah.
everyone else is coming from, you know, how guys in dating are like putting women on the pedestal. They're doing the same thing with celebrities. Like, because I recognize you, I must have a selfie with you or get an autograph. Or you're
Yep.
just coming from the fan frame. So they don't know
Yep.
who the fuck you are. It's to them, it's just another crazy person potentially, or just another fan, and a
Yeah.
little bit of an
Yeah.
ego boost. Although once you become particularly famous, you get bored of that very easily. So then How do you break the pattern?
course, yeah.
Simply by being different. So when I went to Dan Bilzerian's mansion, last thing
Yeah.
on my mind was, I'm gonna whip out my camera and take a selfie with him. Like, no, I have no photos of me
Yeah,
with
yeah,
Dan
yeah.
Bilzerian standing next to each other or posing or anything. I'm not gonna be a tourist just because he's standing there. I'm not gonna be a
Exactly.
tourist in his own fucking mansion. So that's like the wrong, don't fan zone yourself. It's like friend zone, but fan
Yeah, or
zone. You're just like every other
at
fucking
least on the
person.
first meeting.
Yeah.
At
Well,
least on the first meeting. Like if you meet Dan again, you'll be able to get a photo. It won't be as
yeah.
bad. Yeah, because
Yeah,
you've like
then
built some rapport.
then you're more conscious of the opportunity post
100%.
that and like, okay, there's can be another opportunity to
Yeah.
meet again or whatever. But I think about some examples on my side. I met Ahmed Jalili. Some people won't
Yep,
recognize the
I
name,
know.
but if
Yeah.
they Googled him, they'll be like, oh
The
shit, yeah,
comedian.
I
Yeah, yeah,
realize who
yeah. I
that is
know him.
now.
Yeah.
And first time I met, it was through work actually. So a
Yeah.
team sent him to me to help him with some technical thing. And then he gave me his details and we coordinated something for another time. And then
Yep.
I met him. He and his wife, they came to my fucking house.
Yeah.
And then I got, because that was a second time meeting, I didn't get a photo of him at work, but I
Yeah.
did get a photo of him at my fucking house, which is better. He's like, this
Even
is my
better.
fucking pot,
Yeah.
my fucking territory. So,
Exactly.
and then
Totally.
I got another photo of him at his show because he took me backstage and he was the one to actually suggest the photo.
Nice.
And there was a strange coincidence that happened. He gave me some tickets to the show, and there was someone, another comedian and a musician doing the opening for him,
Yep.
Booth B. Griffo. I never heard of this person, but he performs sometimes with some pretty famous bands, especially Canadian bands. But he's an English guy. Um, Coincidentally, in Booth B. Griffo's performance, he picked out a random person from the audience, and that person was me. So before Ahmed came onto the stage, before his time,
Yep.
he I knew he was in the background, like, what the fuck? He just picked out the fucking person that I sent here,
Yeah.
me. And I came on the stage. He just wanted me to take a photo of him or something.
Yeah.
I'm the
Yeah.
fucking guy that he picked on. And
Wow.
he came out to see me during the break and gave me his email and everything. And
Yeah.
then just from the sheer fucking coincidence, once after the break, once it was Ahmed's turn,
Yeah.
he invited me backstage to meet both of them again. And he suggested the assistant take a photo.
Yep.
So it
That's really
funny
cool.
shit like that just like randomly fucking happens.
Good.
If I think of, and I think when it comes to photos, especially, I would rather aim for having someone else take a photo of us mid-conversation,
Yeah.
as if we're just like having a normal fucking conversation.
Of
Because
course.
if we
Yeah.
pose for a photo, it's just gonna
It's
be
never the
another
same.
fan photo.
Never the same.
So
No,
it's
no,
just, it would
100%.
just look so much better to
Yeah.
be like talking to someone like Donald Trump or
Of
whoever
course.
the
Yeah.
fuck, Michael
Mid-conversation.
Jackson
Yeah.
in the past or whatever, mid conversation. That fucking stands out because then everyone looking at it is like,
Damn, who's that?
you fucking talked to Michael Jackson or something like
Exactly.
that,
No,
or
100%.
whoever the fuck
Yeah, you
example
had that. You had
person
that. Like
is.
because it looks real. It's a real moment in a real interaction. That's why, like anyone near me, I try to get like if I'm talking to someone, just take photos of them. Don't like, mid conversation is the best way. But I got one of my clients. One of my clients wanted to meet Grant Cardone. Sorry, Grant Cardone, and we were like, okay, well, how do we connect with Grant Cardone? And we realized I was like, what's Grant Cardone known for? 10x businesses and that. What he's not known for is like, Grant's like 67 years old and looks like a 50-year-old. And we were like, how do we top that? And I thought, and I was like, holy shit, Grant Cardone does a lot of biohacking. You can't be like 67, 66 or whatever he is and look like a 50-year-old without doing that. So in the conversation, he drops about biohacking and knows like, you look so well. What are your biohack? Man ends up having like almost like a 2-hour conversation with him because he got him so intrigued by it. And no one knew that he was doing biohacking. But because we did a bit of research behind it, we knew. Like just because they're like, oh, we put two and two together, bang. And that's how a really good connection was formed very quickly, as well.
Yeah.
A lot of like I have some other clients that are politicians and stuff, and very, very high up, around the world. And some of the things they do a lot of research on the people they're about to meet, so they know what to talk about as well. It's a big thing, massive thing. So they don't go on the conversation just blind about what they're going to talk about. It's just like they want to know, what their sport team's like, what they've done in the last 3 months, where have they gone to, where would they spend the most of their amount of time, what's their favorite, types of clothing designers they like to wear. Like, we're talking details. And that's what the richest and the biggest of the big do with these. And so they're very strategic because they know the connection might be, a one and done. It might be the only time they get an opportunity like that as well.
Yeah, it's crazy. There's another reference for this, not from my experience, but there's a movie called Diana about Princess Diana. She died in like 1997 or something. And she had a relationship with a doctor. And the reason that happened is you can see in the movie how it was portrayed as well. Of course, it's a true fucking story. He didn't treat her like everyone else was treating her. He wasn't taken back by her presence or like, oh, she's a princess. Let me kiss her ass and shit like that. He just treated her like a normal fucking person. And then that broke the pattern. He stood out.
Yeah.
So he didn't fan zone himself.
Yeah,
He ended up in a relationship with a real fucking princess because he just treated her like a normal fucking person and just like had normal conversations instead of acting like everyone else, going crazy about her being there and shit like that. So there's an example people can see in a movie. I haven't seen that like came out in more than 10 years ago. I haven't seen it for so long, but that's a very good fucking example right there. Trying to think of some other ones, but I did some research when I made my first appearance on Just Pearly Things. I realized all the people who go on the show, she doesn't do that anymore, but they would have to take their shoes off. So what I did is I don't want to take my shoes off. I'm just going to bring a new pair of shoes and just show them that it has never been worn before. So then I did exactly that, and so did my wife. And then we were the only ones wearing shoes, and she was wearing 8-inch high heel boots and shit like that. So that was a little bit of research.
Yeah.
And then the other woman on the show, she had like some fungal infection on her feet. She was like, ah, shit, I wish I knew about this.
Damn.
So it's a funny little thing, funny little example, but
crazy.
Yeah, crazy fucking shit.
A little bit of information is very, very good. To know a little about a lot is very good as a man. Yeah.
Someone in the comments is saying if you want to address this. So Owen had a multi-million-dollar mansion, yet he'll tell you money doesn't matter.
Yeah, 100%. I don't know.
Yeah.
Ask him. What, asking me to know what someone else is thinking?
Yeah, I guess the point really is like there was a time when Owen didn't have that. So,
Yeah, 100%. Like, because he's had both. He's had the thing. It's just like, yeah, for sure. It's like, okay, it's good for publicity. It's good for making content. It was good we actually connected with a guy that was making $50 million a year. We connected with Mark Dahmer. We connected with all these other people. So it's like, I think the guy that's just like, he's just trying to cop out. Money does matter. Yes, absolutely. Money doesn't matter. So it's like, yeah, absolutely. I've got girls spending a lot of money or no money. I've had straight connections with a lot of money. It took me thousands of hundreds of that, like $10,000 to get there. Also, I've had things where it's been completely free. Two things can live at the same time. It's called a paradox. All right. But it's like you shouldn't be like, oh, because he said money doesn't matter, I should never make money. It shouldn't be like that. You should always be make more money.
Yeah, Mr. Guy in the comments. Fuck off back to the woods and fucking live there. I'm just fucking rude.
No. But you should always be striving ahead because it's like it's more than that. If you can make money, you can be competent as you're an individual that is very capable in this world, and capabilities and being competent in the world is something that you should always strive for in every endeavor that you try. Whether it's money, whether it's not, whether it's girls, whether it's not, whether it's lifestyle, fitness, whatever it is. 100%.
Trying to think of more celebrity examples. Off the top of my
Encounters.
head, I can't remember right now.
I'm sure there's a couple of them. Oh man, you've been on the internet long enough. I'm sure there'll be some more going forward as well.
Yeah, more recently, I just been in Peru, so it's like
Yeah, it's a little bit different down there.
I'm out of the way here, so it's not stuff that's happening in person. It's more internet related, but
Yeah, no, 100%.
yeah,
Yeah,
the
it's like
in-person
anything. Yeah,
stories are
it's
better.
just some of the people that you can meet, just living, just getting about your day to day as well. They're plentiful, but they're also like, they're going to be a few or far between. So you got to take your opportunities when they come. Very much so.
Oh yeah, like last year, I got a random message on Instagram from Jake Paul's best friend.
Oh
I
yeah,
was like, this is so fucking random. And back then I had like 5,000 followers or
yeah, yeah,
something. So it was like the most random things happen like that. I was like, oh shit. So Jake Paul's only 2 degrees of separation away now.
yeah, yeah,
So
100%.
that's another funny thing. Just like even if you have a small following, these things can happen. It's pretty fucking crazy. That
Yeah.
one, he was just asking me about my AI wingman.
Oh
So
yeah, nice.
that was kind of, I want to say business related, but he was just curious about
A
it.
lot
So
of the time, your
that
connections will be
happens.
business related. You know?
Yeah, and like the article that dropped today, like the journalist reached out to me
Yep.
because of the thing. So it's a similar thing. Like my product is out there and people are contacting me because of that almost on a daily basis now that I think about it. So that's another thing.
Good.
Yeah, any other comments on this?
Not on the celebrity stuff. I think there's a thousand different things that you could do. There's a video that I have out there if people want to watch. It's about 10 steps. If you need to do that, I can't remember them, but some of them are like create a safe space for them to be welcome in. Like don't talk about all their celebrityisms and all that. Like, oh, can you connect me with this person? There's other things like have your own life going on. That's cool, and invite them into your life because everyone's trying to get into their life. Another thing too is like don't ask for things like asking for a photo. Everyone in their life is asking for things, photos. Their managers are asking for their time, their details, everything like that. Be the person that doesn't take from them, just only all gives value. And yeah, I have a little like that's kind of my routine. I just know how to play that really well. And celebrities, if you get good at talking to girls, you get very good at talking to celebrities as well because it's a very similar thing. That's why like I walk around, I see Myron and Walter and can talk to them, in Brickell. Steve will do it, Steiny, Carl, all the Nelk boys here. There's a bunch of people.
Yeah. Damn.
Yeah. And people. Yep.
What are the wrong mindsets that people should not bring into social circle game?
That's a good question. What are the wrong mindsets? Uh, Machiavellism. So just organizing it to see what you can get from others. Oh, if I do this, I'm going to get this. So if I do that, I'm going to get that. Oh, if I do that, she's going to like me. I'm going to get yeah, that's Machiavellism 101 right there. So I wouldn't say that. I would say um, you know, I think the wrong mindset is like taking from others. Oh, if I get in that person's thing, I'll be able to get that. It's very similar. I think not giving enough value, just being like, okay, well, I'm not going to give that, or even the opposite, giving too much value. I think that's a wrong thing as well. Not really just trying to like just give, and never asking for anything in return. That's what the whole idea of social circle was. There's that back and forth. There's that trade of commodity, and I think some people can be doing that where they hear give value, and that's all they do. And then they like get burnt out and they're like, oh, and they start crying because no one gives a shit about them. In order to have this relationship, you got to have it back and forth. So you got to build up the social bank account, let's just say, and you got to drain it slightly, build it up and drain it. It's kind of like a tree, right? If a tree wants to go strong and have strong connections, kind of like a strong friendship, the tree has to go through almost like a hurricane or a tornado to tell itself it's like, okay, we got to dive our roots down. And that's kind of like a friendship. You got to have some ups and downs and giving value and taking value. You can't just give. It's kind of like when a guy talks to a hot girl or a girl and all it is a positive conversation, positive, 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 positive. It's just, there's no depth to it. So there's a couple of ideas. I think another thing too, that it's going to solve all of your problems. It's kind of like a marriage. When a guy goes into marriage, all my problems are going to be solved when I get a girl or when I get this, when I get the social circle. It's like, bro, your problems just get better. That's it. I would say. So it doesn't solve all of your problems. It just makes your problems better. So instead of being like, oh, I've got nothing to do on a Friday and a Saturday night, you're like, oh, now I've got too many events. Who do I have to kind of let down and say I can't come to their event? you know? So those
Yeah,
kind of,
Justin was saying that just earlier.
yeah. There are a couple of things that are a bit more, that can happen. But yeah, there are a couple of the mindsets that coming into it
Yeah.
as well.
I'm thinking in terms of the funny thing with value, I think value is kind of misunderstood in this community,
Sure.
especially when it in the phrasing of things like demonstrations of higher value.
Yeah.
Like I understand now that DHVs are kind of really meaning just attractiveness, like
Sure.
or value as in dating is really just attractiveness.
Sure.
And if
Yeah.
you're demonstrating higher value, you're just demonstrating higher attractiveness. I think people just misunderstand value and then they suddenly think, okay, money and things
Yeah.
like that. So
Yeah.
it kind of traps a few people's mindsets there. Pretty
Yeah,
interesting thing that I picked
that
up on recently.
that kind of rose in 2018, 2019. I was outside like 2017, 2018. I rose out of the game from there and I was just like, so when people say that, I have no idea what they're meaning. Like demonstrative higher, demonstrative lower value and all this. I'm like, I got no fucking clue. Like I got rid of the terms really quickly, like you did. It's like, are
Mm,
you attractive? Is it attractive qualities or is it not attractive quality? That's it. As simple
mm.
as basic. I think guys put these like pickup terminologies in here, you know? And they're like, brother, are you
Yeah.
a cool dude or you're not? That's the thing. Do people want you around or you're
It
not?
exactly. It seemed so vague to me that I just completely ignored it. And then once the concept came to my attention recently, I was just like, this is literally just attractiveness. Like, why
Yeah,
is it worded pretty poorly?
yeah,
But in fairness, like some of these terms come from guys like Mystery, where they were the trail. Like Mystery had no guidance before
of
him. Like
course. Yeah,
he
yeah,
had
for
to
sure.
learn through trial and error, and he had to think of things a certain way. So he
Yeah,
had to come up with something. But after years of these communities, I realized, okay, I understand what this is supposed to mean now, how the
sure.
wording should be.
Yeah,
So
yeah, exactly.
it's a few
But
cases like
they were
that.
pioneering something that like, was never been pioneered. They're the Christopher Columbuses. They're the, Captain Cooks of Australia, like we have. And so it's like they were doing really, really good work. And then it's just like anything, it just evolves, evolves, gets simpler, it gets more understandable. I think once we went into the mainstream, it got a little bit muddled for sure, 100%. But
Hmm.
at the end of the day, it's like you just want to like at the end of the day, everyone wants to be like loved kind of thing. They want to find a girl they can settle down, have a great family, have great friendships, have great connections. I think at the end of the day, that's what everyone's trying to do. Sure, they want some experiences here and there, but eventually, like I think the experiences of like I want all these crazy experiences when they're 35 going into 40. I'm sure they're not going to be thinking like that, and they want to settle down, have some kids and everything. Like I hope they're like that. I think I've got a little bit more kind of pilled of like family pilled a little bit as I've gone on as well. It's like that's the end of the day. You want to find this like thing as well as still having the skills to be able to get the attraction, as well as the skills to be able to still, live a life that you want to live. Let's say if it doesn't work out by 35, 40, you still are in such a good shape where you can get the attractiveness of the people that you want and eventually settle down with. Because at the end of the day, I spent a lot of time around people in nursing homes because I was nursing my grandfather as he was dying. And I realized it was like the people that had the family around them and the people that didn't have the family around them. And it was fucking heartbreaking, bro. It was really heartbreaking when they didn't have any family and they were single or, they just didn't have any kids or anything. And you just looked at that and you're like, wow, it's such a from like, what's the thing that's going to help me build a life rather than the quick now, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah, 100%. So we did one of the very recent panels
Yeah.
we just did was the daddy game fatherhood panel, basically.
Okay.
So everyone I invited, and I think one of the guys is watching right now actually, or commented earlier. Um, everyone on the panel is a father. So I invited only guys who have their own children, and I described that there are three stages of game.
Yep.
Stage one, dating,
Uh-huh.
meeting women. Stage two, relationships,
Yep.
keeping women. Um, and stage three, family, raising
Yep.
family. So I understand it now to be like that, and I see a lot of guys in the community kind of like never realizing that there are these other stages, and they see getting into a relationship or having a family as counterproductive or not part of game at all, but
Yeah, yeah,
really
yeah.
it's all the same. Just like you were saying, if you see your social life and your dating life as separate, then that's gonna that's gonna be an issue. If
Yeah,
you're seeing relationships and dating as separate, that's gonna be an issue. There are
yeah.
a lot of guys who are so focused on meeting women that
Mm,
they forget about learning how to keep one,
yeah.
or they forget that their deeper desire is that eventually they just want to have a family. And
Mm,
then some guys get fixated on, I want to sleep with 10,000 women. And then you get to 10,000 and then you're like, 20,000. And
yeah.
then you're like, when does it fucking end? So it's like some people's minds get twisted in misunderstanding their own desires sometimes,
Of course,
or
yeah.
their future self. So
Yeah.
what I came to realize is if you're in a relationship, that's not game over. That's just the next stage of game.
Hmm.
If
Yeah,
you're
still
in
learning.
a marriage, in a family, that's
Mhm.
the next stage of game.
Yeah.
The game doesn't end until you die. Game is the same
Yeah.
as life, really. It's a way of life.
Good. That's good. It's a good analogy. I like those three stages. They're good stages, those ones. Because yeah, you're gonna
Yeah.
have to. Yeah, I think yeah, they can get trapped in a loop and then just get really bitter and one of the things is they're like, I never want to be in a relationship or I just want to get girls, a girl, new girl, new girl. It's like, there's different elements to it. And I always
Mm.
say it's just like once you know the attraction, and then you can be like, I think once a big thing with a lot of the guys is like, eventually you're gonna have to get sick of like sleeping with girls just the one time, you know? Like it's just bad for your soul after a while. It's so demoralizing, you know? And
Mystery says a one night stand is a failure. And
okay,
at the time, I was like, that doesn't really make sense. But when I looked over the
go
footage
deeper.
again, I was like, okay, this makes a lot of sense. I
Yeah,
understand that.
yeah.
So it took me two listens to really
To
take that
really
in,
suck them in.
but it made a lot of sense because, if if she's not willing to see you again,
Yeah,
um, then that's a failure.
yeah,
So you can make sex happen once, but if you can't make it happen with that person or a lot of women over and over again, then there's a problem with your stage two of game.
exactly.
So I found that very interesting. It was only in the past less than a year, I think, that
Wow.
I thought of it this way.
Yeah, well, that's the subs we call it. Well, I call it substance game. There's nothing to you. What she grabbing onto, and that's where the cold approach guys. I'm like, okay, so this girl, sleeps has a great time with you. It's all consensual, and then I'm like, what does she get? Who is she investing her time in? And you're like, oh, I go cold approach 5 hours a day. And she's like, what else are you interested in? Oh, I like talking to girls. I like investing in, like, I like to go to the mall and talk to, like, that's what she's getting with you. It's just like no wonder that these guys can only get the girl to sleep with them once. There's no
Mm.
substance there. There's no nothing. Like, what are you interested in? What do you like? Oh, I like talking to like game, 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 game. It's like, yo, have something bigger than game. You know,
It's an identity issue. They make a
yeah,
game or stage one of games specifically
100.
their identity.
Yep, yep. And that's a big thing. And that's why I think social circle gravitates towards the guys that are just like they understand that principle, which is like they've got a personality. It's just they want to add some funnels, they want to add some systems that make it easier for them as well. And it's not their whole personality. Like they don't have a personality issue of not knowing who they are. And one of the biggest things with social circles, you hang out with enough people, you will understand who you are. It's just about time with others as well to really understand what you like, what you don't like. Cold approach is great because it's like you have that rejection therapy, which is really, really good. I like that part of it for sure. You can get that in 1,000 different ways. I can tell a guy, okay, go up to that convenience store, get that pack of gum that's like $1.20, see if you can get it for $1. That's rejection therapy. You know, like there's 1,000 different ways to do it. Ask for your meal to be 25% comped right now. It's like, oh fuck,
I asked for a discount
Yeah,
today and I got it.
perfect.
So something that has been on my mind in the past few years is negotiation. Like the way it is here in Peru. What I
Yeah,
realized one massive difference between I call Gringo land because it's easier to
right.
say in USA, Canada,
Yeah,
England,
yeah,
Scotland, Wales, Ireland, Australia, New Zealand, blah blah blah. Gringo land compared to Peru
yeah.
or South America or whatever. Um, things are very rigid in our culture. It's like
Yeah.
if you want to, Walmart is everywhere. If you
Yeah.
want to here in Peru, there are branches and stuff, but a lot of businesses are independent,
Yeah.
and a lot of the culture is just people have their own control of things much more. There are independent stores,
Hmm.
independent restaurants. There are still chains, but everywhere in places like London, everywhere is a fucking chain. Like they
Yeah.
close down something and then they open up another street and surprise, another McDonald's,
Yeah.
another Wendy's, another blah blah blah. All the
Uh-huh.
same shit everywhere you go.
And
But
yeah.
here in Peru, it's there's some funny differences, but the main thing is you can really negotiate so much easier, and there's so much more negotiation in the culture
Yeah.
because you're just like it's not that situation where the computer says no. Like
Yeah.
every time I go through some fucking technical support with like some gringo multi-billion dollar company, there's like a wall of
Yeah.
support saying, I can't help you with that. I can't do that. I
Yeah.
can't do this. But then if you or in a place like Peru where you deal with like the owner or someone, they
Yeah.
have the power they don't fucking
Totally.
stonewall you or ignore you or saying, I
Um,
am not authorized to do this or we got rules and shit like that. You
yeah.
can literally just negotiate fucking everywhere in
True.
Peru. It's so fucking funny.
That's true. That's
So
true.
I just keep fucking doing it because
It's fun.
they don't have these formalities of no, I'm not allowed to do that or shit like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, very funny. Very funny. Well, that's good. At least you're doing that therapy, the rejection stuff still, which is good, isn't it?
Yeah, speaking of rejection, something I think in terms of social circle game that is so missed,
Yep.
especially not just social circle game, but indirect game in general. When I see a lot of day gamers just going out and they're using openers like, hey, I just saw you from over there, thought you were cute, and had to
Yep.
come over and say hi, and they're using the same lines and stuff. A lot of people are coming from the frame that sets them up for rejection
Hmm.
or acceptance or success, whatever you want to call it. It sets them up for rejection in the first place, and then they wonder why it's not working or why they're
Yep.
being rejected so much. Whereas indirect game in general, including social circle game, it's very much there's this thing happening. You can come along to it, and either she comes or she doesn't,
Yep.
and you're not being rejected. You're inviting more than one person to it,
Yep.
and there's no in a way, there's no such thing as rejection because of the deep, indirect nature of things.
Yep.
Instead of being upfront and saying, my intention is to have sex with you,
Sure.
your
Yeah.
intentions are basically to hang out with people.
Yep.
People will show up. And then the fact that you're already there in proximity to other people,
Mhm.
uh, you're not basing everything on sexual intent. So you can't really be rejected with your upfront intentions. I kind of complicated how I'm saying it, but does that
Mhm.
make any sense?
No, it makes some sense. I think that's what people's like big hang up with social circles. Like, how do you like get results from it? They don't know what the system is. And it's a much more natural system. I think that's why I think a lot of people don't understand it, where it's like you're hitting so many attraction signals that the girl becomes attracted. The girl kind of makes it easier for you. You talk to Dan, the girl's kind of chasing you. And that's a
Mm.
huge epiphany that guys have probably never ever experienced as well. They make it easy. The girl is making it easier for you to get laid because she wants to like sleep with you as well. So I think that indirect game is very, very good because it's like you're just hitting all the attraction triggers that need to be attracted, you know? And I think a big thing too that a lot of the guys miss is that when you talk when you do social circle, you may not get the opening. How do I transition? I can't even remember. It's been so long. The transitioning from the open to like getting to know the person to like all these like transitional periods, and you try to get that dialed in because in social circle you've got so many different threads of conversation with people. You actually get better at conversations. You get better at talking because you're having so many conversations with people. like over and over and over and over and over again. And then you just have to work on like closing from those environments. That's it. So you only have to really do two, like you have to get people into the event. You have lots of conversation with them, and then you just learn how to close from the event. You're actually doing a lot less than a lot of these cold approach guys. And it's very much more simple. I think it's just like you're, as you said, you're not being as direct, like here's everything on the table, da, 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 and it's just this big, like you're gonna get blown out a lot more. Some guys like that. They like the machine
Oh
gun.
man. I saw it just today. There was a Reddit post or some post somewhere.
Yeah.
Some guy was saying, I have done 1,000. It was in four figures. It was
Yeah.
at least 1,000 approaches, and he got laid 0 times
Crazy.
doing day game. And I'm
Yeah.
like, why do I see this over and over again? I saw that today.
Hmm.
So where I want to go with this is there is no rejection in opportunity in a sense, in an indirect sense, because there's really only opportunity. If you're doing, if your frame is the opportunity is sex or no sex, then you're
Yeah.
setting yourself up for a lot of rejections.
100%.
But if you're seeing the opportunity of simply connecting with people, not just women, but like random people who are around in the social circle environment or a night game or whatever, just by pursuing opportunity, you don't necessarily know where it happens because your point of view isn't so narrow.
Yeah, exactly.
Whereas guys with direct intent and whatever,
Yeah, it's either
they're
yes
like,
or black or
either
white.
we have sex or I get rejected.
Yeah,
But if you open it up and just see everything as opportunity,
for sure.
like there are 10 women here, I might have sex with a few of them. A few
Yeah.
of them might introduce me to their friends, and there will be opportunity. You're just seeing the branches of opportunity,
Yeah.
and those branches have more branches. Those branches have even more branches. It's not a binary 0-1, yes, no, acceptance, rejection situation.
Yeah.
It's simply the pursuit and realization
That
of so many opportunities in many directions.
those guys can't see, those guys particularly wouldn't be able to see why a female friend would be worthy because it's that black or white. It's like either I have sex or not, right? So when you get the female friend, you realize like, oh, I get this female friend, I get all these opportunities for events, all these opportunities I can invite her and look good because I bring a girl. All of her friends that she introduced me to as well, talks highly about me. All of their friends. And so they don't see like that's a comprehensive like understanding of like it's a mental model of being able to project yourself forward. And those guys, they're either black or white. Yes or no,
Yeah.
that's it. They can't.
Here's the crazy thing.
Yeah.
This particular female friend,
Yeah.
you might have sex with her in that social circle game situation somewhere down the line, however long or short that may be. Whereas if you have this binary vision and you shoot your shot straight away, then you're shut down. Then you burn to that opportunity in a
Yeah.
sense. Like not to say like nothing can happen after that,
Of
but
course, yeah, for sure.
it's just fucking funny how the window is so much wider when you don't see things in that very limited way.
Oh, 1,000%. Yeah, I think with the guys that are like that, they don't see the bigger picture. They just see like, oh, I like, their whole world is like get laid, get laid, get laid. Where the guys that are in social circle, I think they look at life as it's big picture, right? The amount of people that I can get to know are going to help. It's going to help my income. It's going to be able to help me in the opportunities, help me my family, the information that I can get, the access, the pretty girls that I can get. Like it's a whole encompassing thing. And so the guy that's solely focused on getting laid is the guy that will get laid the least. 100%. Like if that's his whole focus, right? Because then it's like you get laid, and then what the next day you feel unfulfilled because you didn't get laid again, and then you feel unfulfilled the next day, and the next day, and the next day, and then you only feel good when some girl lets you like inside of her little hole, her warm hole, and that's the only time you get a bit of exhilaration in your life, and that's it. For the rest of your life, that's the only time you feel good about yourself. Oh, okay, I know that. Yeah, that sounds like a really good life. I really hope you enjoy that hamster wheel you are on for the next 65 years of your life.
Mm. And so some guys add another layer to that and become a dating coach.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
I want to add another little bit of context onto my thoughts here
Sure.
when it comes to like the rejection black and white thing. Just
Yeah.
imagine the timeline, just a straight line. And
Yeah.
if you're being direct, she could reject you here right at the start. If this is where we're starting, I don't know what way the screen is showing. I think it's this way actually.
Yep.
Just imagine this is the start, this is the end of time chronologically. If you're direct and you give your intent, I want to have sex with you, whatever your opener is, she rejects you right here. Whereas if you weren't direct, you could have progress sometime after a few days, maybe a few hours or a few weeks, whatever, in social circle game. Instead of being rejected here, you have all this open time for something to happen, and she could have had sex with you here.
Mhm.
But if you did the other way and you just went direct, then you just got yourself rejected before you even got that opportunity. Like you're just seeing this premature ejection. I don't know, that's the wrong ejection, complete wrong terminology, but premature opportunity loss, perhaps. I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe I'm
100%.
just talking out of my ass now, but yeah, that's just the way I think.
It's good.
So
You're very,
there's
very
no
good.
particular
I
way.
mean, yeah, definitely flush it out more, and then you'll be, for you, if it makes sense to you, that's good as well, because you know exactly what you're gonna do. And then for a lot of these guys, it's like they can really like tie on to something like that. They just got to think bigger than what they are right now. That's the bigger thing. Like I'm not any like dating coach. I'm not nothing like that. I'm a guy that like is now understanding the way the world works and how to capitalize on it, the connections. And as a byproduct, one of the cool things is I get access to the hottest girls in the world, and I'm a charming personality. I'm making myself the most attractive version of myself as well. And as a byproduct, girls find that attractive. Oh, I wonder why. Oh, I wonder why. So a lot of the time I figured out, I was like, okay, well, the best guys in the world are not doing what we're doing here. They're doing something completely else. I'm going to follow them. And as a byproduct, I started to get the results they were getting, and I started to have the success that they were having. And I was like, okay, I'm doing something right here. So you follow the byproducts of the guys that are doing the best. And it's funny that all the social circle guys seem to have very, very high quality girls around them. Just saying, don't know about the other guys, but they're just saying.
Well, I don't know, Sam. Maybe you could do some trailer park social circle game.
That's
That
it.
could be a
You never
thing. That
know.
is a thing, social circle game in Alabama, keep it in the family. There are lower forms of social. I have seen it. I have
Yeah,
seen it.
social circle in a small town, right?
A
Funny, man.
small town social circle game, shit like that.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Any other things you want to talk about before I close it off?
That was it, my man. That was it. That was a good one for sure. I'm glad I could stick around for the whole time as well.
Perfect. It's absolutely amazing to have you here. You're always sticking around for the whole thing.
I banked
You're an
3 hours.
opportunist. That's what I'm seeing.
Oh, okay. I make sure that my time's running smoothly, my friend.
You got too much time on your hands,
That's
but
it.
I
That's it.
don't know, just
Oh my
fucking around.
God.
Alrighty. Any place guys can find you for more stuff? Like when I guess you stopped being part of RST like 2018, 2019 or something. What have you been
20,
doing in the last few years?
yeah, 2016 is when we parted ways there. And I still have a lot of love for the guys. I'm actually seeing Owen next week as well. So, I've had to, whatever happened, we forgave each other. We had our mutual split. Life happens. And then from there, I had a lot of interesting things that happened. I went back to professional golf. I started playing again. I got a scholarship to a university. I had a lot of family health issues that I had to take care of people. And that issue led me into I need more money. That was a big thing. And with that idea of like, okay, how do I make more money in my life? Bred the idea of like, okay, well, how do I make more money? I'm working all the time. How do I still get girls? And then the social circle stuff came over the years. And then, from 2020, I've been, teaching this as well as the other businesses I have for the last like 5 years here. So yeah. And then now I work with very, very high level entrepreneurs and building out and positioning them socially in the world where they're able to connect with the best people in the world, as well as build networks and get the attraction of girls that they can one day settle down with as well. So it's gone further beyond just like what do I say to a girl? It's gone into this like ultra global thing of positioning yourself with status and the connections and building out something that's like turning something as an idea into reality. So it's a big thing from where it first started. So I'm very happy where it's all coming from as well.
Progress. Perfect.
That's
Thanks for jumping in.
Oh man, I appreciate you all the time hosting these things, bro. You're doing an amazing job.
It only gets bigger. So, you know, I would have to be crazy to ever really stop doing this.
Exactly.
It's kind of funny because anyone else in my position would probably end up in a relationship, get married or something, then stop doing it. But
Yeah.
I realized long ago, like, this is not contradictory to marriage, or
Yeah.
it's the same fucking topic. Like it's understanding, communicating with
Yep.
women and shit
Mm-hmm.
like that. It's the free stages of game.
Yeah.
So like
I like that.
being in that position, I'll never basically give it up. I might transform and include more things about marriage and relationships over time, but
Mm.
this is
You
how
like
it's going to
it for
be
now, you know what
forever.
I mean? Which is good, man. That's fantastic. And then people are going to see your evolution. People are going to see everything that you're talking about and the people that you're bringing on as well. So it's only going to get bigger and bigger from here. So well done, my man.
Yeah, just like my beard. Anyway,
I
thanks
love
for jumping on. I'm just gonna drop a few announcements for the guys still watching.
it. Of course.
Um, yeah, let's see. In 2 days, we got an interview with Zan Perian. He was in the Book of the Game. He wrote a bestseller called The Alabaster Girl. What I really like about Zan in particular, I don't do many one-on-one interviews, but um when he was on a panel some time back with Mystery, Baxter, and some others, I realized there's something different about this guy. He's not a typical pickup artist. I want to know some more about this guy. So it seems there's a lot of interesting stuff we can learn. He's very fucking chill. It's not like one of those guys where you got to do 1,000 approaches every single fucking day. This is not what game is. Game is opportunity, meeting women, so many different things, and there are so many different perspectives and ways to do game. So this is exactly what I'm gonna dive into, jumping into his mindset and seeing what we can learn from Zan himself. We got a few debates in planning. Uh, don't have no particular order right now, but off the top of my head, AJ Hayden versus Deepak Dating hasn't been confirmed yet, but that's being discussed in the last few days. Um, some other crazy shit. We're gonna have a polygyny panel very soon. I finally found more people who are really into polygyny. Some of them are actually Christians, so it's very interesting. And they kind of found that the Bible is not against polygyny. So I'm not necessarily going to make it a Christian panel, but all perspectives on polygyny are definitely coming for that. So that's going to be a very interesting one. I forget the rest, but there's a lot of fucking shit happening. We're going to keep fucking doing this. And once again, I'm going to try to keep up some kind of regular live stream of coaching, and it's crazy. Like the last one or two, I spent like 4 hours trying to keep up with the fucking chat. It's insane. So I'm literally just doing free coaching on YouTube almost on a weekly basis at that point. So make sure you guys fucking jump on those and ask me your fucking questions. It's a lot of fun. Catch you guys on the other side. Game on. There, that's the end of the stream, but I'm still here.